for 20 years. The home of sport.
Hello and welcome to the Prestige Homes Arena here in Milton Keynes, and welcome along to the first live game of the season on Sky Sports, to the BBL Championship. And what a game we have in store for you tonight. It's the MK Lions taking on the Wolves. Stay tuned. Yes, welcome along to the MK Lions Arena and to a great championship clash tonight between the MK Lions and the Worcester Wolves. The crowd here really looking forward to a gritty affair, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by the Leicester coach, Rob Paternostre, and of course the former BBL player, Nigel Lloyd. Good evening to you both. Rob, let's start with you. What can we expect from tonight's game?
Well, two teams coming off tough losses. Worcester had a game up in Sheffield where they had the lead with 7 seconds to go. Nate Ranking made a shot. That loss hurts. Coach James told me before. And Milton Keynes lost to Glasgow in here, a game that they had in hand. So both teams will want to come out tonight and do a lot better than they did last game.
Yeah, Nigel, differing fortunes for both these teams. MK Lions struggling a little bit at the moment.
Well, yeah, they are, but they play very well at home, so home court advantage is a great thing for them. The wide open style of the inside out, the big men of Worcester, that's going to be a challenge for MK Lions because they have a traditional big guy in Daniel Northern that plays really close to the basket. So it's going to be contrasting styles and how they affect the game.
Wolves aren't making it easy for themselves at the moment, though, are they, Rob? They're losing games, or winning games, I should say, by the narrowest of margins.
Yeah, well, that's, that will help them throughout the season because you do come across close games, and you have to give a lot of credit to Coach James and their point guard, Sherrod Prezi Blue. He's made a lot of big plays for them, and it's nice to have a point guard that will step up at the end of the game to make those kind of plays.
Leicester and Worcester are both teams that are doing well so far this season. Is that something you expected, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, Coach James brought a lot of new players in this season, so, he knows how to get it done. He's a veteran player in this league, coach in this league, so if there's a guy in this league that understands it, Coach James does. So not surprised at all. This team has been successful so far, and I look for them to continue that this season.
So what will Mike New have to do this evening against those Wolves tonight?
Well, first of all, he's got to keep Demaris Bowles in the game because normally he's their closer. And the last game they lost, he was fouled out with 5 minutes to go in the game. Also, he's got to just work his bench more. He's got a deeper bench than Paul James may have had. So he's got to get him rested, get him foot ready to compete in the fourth quarter, and let him finish off the game with his best unit.
Let's take a look then at the league table at the moment. This is how it's looking. Have a look at the results over the Friday and the Saturday. Mersey Tigers there, a win against Durham Wildcats. That was their first win of the season. Newcastle Eagles against the Plymouth Raiders. They really thumped Plymouth there, didn't they? That was what I was talking about there, those tight margins for Worcester Wolves, losing against Sheffield Sharks. MK Lions against the Glasgow Rocks. That was what they witnessed here on Friday night. Durham Wildcats against the Plymouth Raiders. Raiders coming back then after that defeat against Newcastle Eagles. So let's take a look at the BBL Championship then. This is how it looks. Newcastle right there at the top, Rob. Is that what you'd expect? They're going good guns at the moment, aren't they?
Well, over the last 10 seasons or so, this team is always up there. Coach Flanoy does such a great job with them, and they continue to bring back players that have won things before. That continuity helps them, especially early in the season. They're a difficult team to play.
And what about Guildford Heat there, though? You saw rock bottom. They're going to need to improve, aren't they, and quick?
Well, yeah, I spoke to Creon, and he had a month off. So basically what he's doing, he's using his training camp. He's got rid of one point guard. He's brought in another guard, and Andrew Lasker, who's got league success and has won something in the league. So he's trying to bring a winning mentality. And he's also trying to gel his team together. So right now, he thinks that this is time to make a push because he took a month off to get ready.
Well, that was, of course, the championship, but for Rob's Riders, it was all about the cup at the weekend, and, of course, that semi-final against Newcastle. Let's see how they got on.
Both sides came into this semi-final on the back of 9 wins in 10 games, and it was the Riders who troubled the scorers first. Aaron Hardy with the opening basket of the contest. But Newcastle dominated the offensive glass early on, Darius Defoe giving plenty of room for this putback. 4 minutes in, and Andy Thompson's mid-range jump shot gave Newcastle a 9-7 lead, and from there they took command. Riders' passing was sloppy in the early going. Paul Gores helped Newcastle open a 23-13 lead in the first quarter. Plenty for Rob Paternostro to think about. A Charles Smith triple had Newcastle 28-15 ahead at the end of the opening period. And Smith stretched that lead to 18 points early in the second quarter. Despite some scores from Brad Wisbicki and Aaron Hardy, Riders couldn't make any inroads into the lead. They were 25-44 down at the midpoint of the second period. Wisbicki was in great shooting form, but the home side looked well out of the tie at the interval, trailing by 40 points to 58 as they headed to the locker room. The capacity crowd at John Sanford were in a bit of a state of shock at halftime. Coach Paternostro had plenty to say to his team at the interval as he looked to find a way back into it, whilst Fab Flanoy had foul trouble to deal with at the break, with 3 of his starters, including himself, on 3 fouls at half-time. Riders began their charge in the second half. Cameron Rundles and then Brad Wisbicki finally giving the home fans something to cheer. Wisbicki was clearly feeding off the tremendous atmosphere at John Sanford Sports Centre as his shots continued to drop. October's Player of the Month didn't want to miss out on the action. Aaron Hardy with a couple of big jams to keep the rally going. The second off a John Griffin miss, which narrowed the gap to only 78-71. Riders fans starting to believe. Wisbicki with the circus shot to cut the gap to only 4 points before another dunk, this time from Brett Royster, made it a 1-point game with 2.5 minutes to play. With 90 seconds to go, Riders completed a 21-point second half recovery as Hardy gave them their first lead since the opening game of the basket. The impressive Gores put Newcastle back on level terms, and then his steal and layup gave Newcastle a 90-88 lead with 49 seconds left. John Griffin calmly slotted home 2 foul shots to level the match at 90. And then in the dying seconds, Wisbicki came close to winning it, but his shot rimmed out, and Newcastle didn't have enough time to get to the other end and score. All to play for in Friday's second leg after a rare draw in basketball. Final score, Leicester Riders 90, Newcastle Eagles 90.
Well, Brad, you kind of played in too many games like that. That was a thriller.
Yeah, really exciting, start to finish. You know, we got down, brought it all the way back, and the game ended in a draw, but exciting for both teams and really exciting to be part of.
What went wrong in the first half for you guys?
You know, we didn't match their intensity, really, and we didn't play good defense, allowed them too many open looks, and that's a team that could get hot. They have so many good three-point shooters, and, you know, Paul did a nice job getting in the lane, so that's what happened in the first half.
And then in the second half, you came on that run, and I could really see you feeding off this crowd.
Yeah, you know, a great electrifying crowd tonight. They really got behind the team and stayed with us when we were down. And even when we started only creeping up a little bit, they really got into it. So they're hungry for this, and we really fed off of it.
And then it comes down to that last play. Do you feel you needed that score, or are you quite happy to go off level?
You know, quite happy to go off level. It would have been nice, you know, to win the game at the buzzer, but you know, quite happy, especially from where we were. We were down 20 to get it level. Really happy about that going into next week.
Well, Fab, it's a tied game. How do you take that? I'm sure coming in you'd have been happy just to go home needing just to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best scenario for both teams. There's no points, there's no nothing, there's no psychological edge or this, that, and the other. Just go out there and win the basketball game. Win, you go through, lose, go home.
But 20 points up at halftime, do you feel like you left a few out there?
No, I mean, obviously it's not the ending that I want, but every good team is going to go on a run. We played well in the first half. They played well in the second half. I think we gave up 50 points in the second half of the game, and doing so, it was probably a little bit of tight legs, missed assignments, and you know, playing here it's pretty intimidating. You know, they did a fantastic job. So job done for us, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to say job done for them as well.
I mean, it was very raucous in that second half. It must be a tremendous atmosphere to play in.
I mean, it was great. I mean, that's what the BBL needs. I wish every venue was like this, environment. It feeds into it. And make no mistake about it, the riders did feed off of it. It was very intimidating, and not the fact that I felt that it intimidated us, but it's just a great atmosphere for basketball. More importantly, the Cup semifinal. Cup semifinal, and over 2 legs, so it means something. I'm going to go up to Newcastle. I'm going to tell our fans they better do the same thing to them, stomping on the floor, hearing loud, screaming, shouting. It's a great basketball environment.
And going home, you just need to win. Any margin will do. I mean, that's a perfect scenario.
It's a perfect scenario. We'll go home and we'll lick our wounds, get ready. We got tired legs out there, energy, and we'll take 2 days off, and then we'll come back ready for them on Friday.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
So, Rob, we heard from Brad there and Fab saying that the next game is a straight knockout. Would you agree with that then?
Sure, it's nice, those games where you go in and say, well, we're down 6, how do we start the game, what do we do? Here you go out and you have to win, and that's all. You win, like Fab says, you go on, you lose, you go home. Our fans were fantastic the other night. I have to give them a lot of credit. They've been superb. But we know that Newcastle also has great fans, and they will be superb. So it's going to be a test for us to be able to go up there and handle that type of atmosphere, and we're all excited about it.
You were there, Nigel, weren't you? What did you make of that team?
I thought it was a great game. Like they said, it's a game of 2 halves. Newcastle the first half, Leicester the second. And if Leicester, I told Rob, they knocked down the free throws, maybe they're going with a lead, but it was a great atmosphere. The crowd was nice and loud. I came to sit in a neutral spot. I had to sit behind Newcastle's bench because it was too packed. So it was a great game. It was a great advertisement for the BBL.
Yeah, I'm going to upset you though now, Rob.
Okay.
You haven't won there since 1997. Do you think you can beat the Eagles at home?
Well, of course we do. That's what basketball is all about. I mean, a lot of those losses that we had, I wasn't a part of. Most of our guys are new this year, so that they believe, but we do respect them, and we do know that in order for us to win, we're going to have to play a great basketball game, and that's what you want at this stage, a chance to go to the Cup final. You want to have an opportunity to play against the best, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was an awesome game, certainly one for the neutrals as well. Let's just see what's coming up in the Cup fixtures. You got, as we were mentioning there, Newcastle Eagles taking on the Leicester Riders. Can Rob's team do it? That's on Friday the 2nd of December. Saturday the 10th, today's visitors, it's the Worcester Wolves against the Plymouth Raiders, and then the reverse fixture, Plymouth Raiders taking on the Worcester Wolves the following evening. And the BBL Cup final, don't forget, it's live for you on Sunday the 15th of January. Well, let's get more on this game tonight. So let's join Mark Woods, head of tip-off, and he's on the benches.
Thanks, Vicky. Well, in terms of injuries tonight, no problems for either side. It's certainly not physically, maybe mentally a few scars after last weekend. And speaking to Richie Gordon of the Wolves, he's saying defensively, that's where they have to improve tonight. Same for Milton Keynes. Stephen Gill saying to me, it's a trust issue for them. They must communicate better to improve their defense. So that's the verdict from the players. What have the coaches been saying? Let's hear from Paul James in a moment. But first up, Milton Keynes coach, Mike New. Mike, your team this season, not the start, I guess, that you'd have wanted. What's going to turn things around for you starting tonight against Worcester?
I think tonight against Worcester, we need to really focus on our defense. I think that we've been putting the ball in the basket fine, scoring enough points, but our defense, especially in the last few minutes of close games, have been letting us down recently.
You struggled to finish that game off against Glasgow last weekend, slipped out of your grasp. Is it just those defensive lapses that are the difference right now between an average team and a good team?
I think so. I think that we played good defense, obviously. I mean, for the most part of the game against Glasgow. We just didn't finish off the last 4 or 5 minutes. Glasgow were relentless, and especially Michael Green down the stretch finished the game off for them. And we have to do a better job of containing the ball, but also protecting our rim in the closing minutes of games.
Marius Bowles, the top scorer in the league this season. Do you want him taking less shots or even more?
I want him taking more shots. Even with the amount of shots that Demarius has taken, he's a really unselfish player, and his main goal is to make his teammates better around him. Obviously, he's our go-to guy, but the more shots he takes, the better for me.
Worcester tonight, give us an insight. What will you be saying to those guys in the locker room? What's the strategy?
Strategy, I think, first and foremost, is to keep Prezi Blue and Freeman off of the free throw line. When you're able to contain those guys and keep them off of the free throw line, they're usually 10 points or less guys. If you let those guys get to the free throw line and get open looks behind the three-point line, you're in for a long night. So that's probably my biggest key.
Paul, An 8-game winning streak snapped at the weekend, but I imagine this early in the season you must be pretty happy with how your team are performing.
Absolutely delighted with the way we're performing. You know, it's practically a brand new team this season, and we've gelled really well together as a unit. Great team chemistry. We've won a few, close games, and unfortunately we didn't manage to pull the one out against Sheffield last week, but we've had a great start.
What's made the difference this season? Is it better chemistry, better talent? What's been the improvement?
Well, I think the chemistry is a key thing. The guys have all bought into the philosophy. We want to try and play some defense. We've got people in different areas who can do different jobs for the team, and together it all fits. So, we're delighted with the way we're playing. Everybody gets on together, and we're playing some good basketball.
Tonight, looking at the different records, Wolves going in as favourites. What's the challenges tonight for your team?
Well, I think, with MK Lions, they're a very up and down team. We really don't want to get into that kind of game. We want to get them into a half-court situation, play some tough defense, make sure we control our own boards, and then execute offensively.
And going up against Milton Keynes, Richie Gordon's been so impressive, a key player for you tonight.
Yeah, he is. Richie's one of those guys who's really high energy. Wears his heart on his sleeve. And sometimes I have to pare him back a little bit, and he might pick a cheap foul or two. But I love his energy. I love his enthusiasm, and that breathes throughout the team.
So that's tonight's game. But one other piece of news in the British Basketball League tonight. I'm understanding that Drew Sullivan, the captain of Great Britain, is going to sign for the rest of the season for Leicester Riders. Should be just finalised and dotted and sealed in the next couple of days. Something perhaps Rob Paternoster can give us some insight into.
Well, we hope so, yeah. I mean, we're looking at Drew as a player that we'd love to keep around, and we're focused on Friday night. We know he'll be there Friday night against Newcastle.
You're saying hope so. Come on, tell us live now.
It sounds good right now, and like I said, we're concerned about Friday, and I will guarantee he'll be there Friday night.
Okay, how important then, you've swerved the question completely, how important is Drew Sullivan though to Leicester and perhaps keeping the GB captain here in the UK ahead of the Olympics?
For our team it's been very important. We have a lot of new players, young guys that have come in, talented players, but having that veteran, who also is a talented player has helped us out. He has the ability to read the game, and he's helped us with that. And for him to stay in the country, it's a great thing for GB and for the BBL. And the excitement around Leicester now that we have the GB captain there has been great to see. And we feel very fortunate that he's wearing the Riders colors.
Just briefly, how hard is he to play against, this guy?
Drew Sullivan, he's inside, outside. He's very athletic. He can run the floor. He defends really well, and he's a winner. And you can't put a price on being a winner. You got a winner and you're missing. He's done it. That can be infectious. And other guys can pick that up, and he can help build from there.
Okay, well, do stay with us because we have a fantastic clash for you in store. It is the MK Lions taking on the Worcester Wolves. Stay tuned.
It's nights like these that make the Champions League. And it's now or never to reach the knockout stages. It's still in Chelsea's hands as they take on Valencia. But Manchester City are relying on others and must beat Bayern to go through. Don't miss all the drama of match day 6 in the UEFA Champions League next Tuesday and Wednesday, Sky Sports HD.
Here he is, his eyes on the prize. Oh, he's lost possession already. That's got to be a disappointment. Oh, he's really not happy, is he? Hang on, what's he up to here? Oh, what a clever move. That calls for Carlsberg.
Carlsberg and Sky Sports, your weeknight reward.
Premier Banking from Barclays sponsors Sky Movies box office.
You stupid little runt. I can crush you anytime I want.
I'm not gonna sleep with you.
See about that. I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
We gotta hire a professional.
Are you talking about a hitman?
So my boss, who we're thinking about planning to kill, is dying in front of you and you saved his life? Well, that sounds bad when you say it like that.
Horrible Bosses on the Sky Movies box office in HD, on TV, online and on demand.
Boss Orange, fragrance for women. Wear it with passion. All Sky Movies 1 and 2 customers, you can now make an exclusive saving when you rent a movie from Sky Movies box office. Get more great movies for less.
Hello and welcome back to the MK Arena. It is the MK Lions taking on the Worcester Wolves. And they say that talent is bred and not made. We've seen it all in sport before, haven't we? So are the MK Lions breeding a whole new star of their own?
Mike New, of course, now the coach of Milton Keynes Lions, but he was a pretty mean player back in the day, both in the BBL and overseas. But these days, not just on the bench, but a proud dad as well to Michael Jr., who's shooting for the Stars in basketball too. And let's start with the proud daddy. Tell me about this chip off the old block.
Oh, man, I mean, it's really fantastic that, first of all, he even likes to play. You know, so many sportsmen try to really influence their kids to play. But he has a natural knack for the game, and ever since he can hold the ball, he always wanted to play, so it made it easy for me to, you know, teach him the game.
Michael, you've grown up at the side of this guy. What have you learned from him over the years?
I think my dad has a lot of experience, so I think it's helped me in my shooting, rebounding, and just any aspect of the game. Yeah, that's it, really.
Learned a lot, I guess, from he's coached you. What's he like as a coach? And you know, does he stop being daddy? Is he coach all the time?
Pretty much throughout the game, he is coach. We have a pretty big borderline between coach and dad, and I think I handle it really well as a player to be able to maintain my focus throughout the game.
Mike, he's come a long way. You've seen him in the junior ranks. Absolutely. International potential here.
Absolutely. The England team had so much interest in him just recently. We have to get his nationality sorted out, obviously, but it's definitely a lot of interest there. He also plays on my under-16 team. Obviously, I coach the men, but I coach the college academy and our under-16 junior team as well. We're doing really well, and you know he's my top player on that team. The development system is just fantastic. We have under 15, under 14, and under 13s here at MK Lions, and he's at the top of the developmental chain, and he's doing a fantastic job.
How much satisfaction is it giving you to see the kid coming on and making a name now?
I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, genetics are fantastic, but when I watch him play, it's just his work ethic and his fundamentals. Obviously, he's been around the game his whole life because he's been with me, and that carries over onto the court for a really mature game for a guy his age.
So what's the next step? What's the ambition?
Hopefully to make it to the NBA. Maybe when I'm 18, 17, kind of go over to America and play in college, and hopefully just make it to the NBA.
We'll see you. Game on 1-on-1. Who's going to beat who?
I'm going to beat him.
Oh, you heard it there then. You know all about this little fella, don't you, Mini Mike? What's he like?
Oh, he's a very, very good ball player. He's a nice kid. He works really hard. He's one of my best hard workers at my campus. And he's a really, really good player. And his potential is unlimited. I mean, his dad's a big guy, but he has guard skills for his height, which is going to make him a better player in the long run. Mike won't want to hear that, but I think his son will outdo him.
What about Mike then? What's he like as a coach? Obviously, you know him very well.
I do. He's a really, really passionate coach. He loves the game. As you heard him say, he coaches the under 16s. He coaches the college. And he also coaches professional men. And that's a lot of work. But he's really passionate about the game. He really wants to win, and he really wants to teach. He's a great teacher. And the big guys, they're going to get much better if they just pay attention to what Mike's teaching them.
What's he like just before tip-off? Is he very calm, or where will he have done his talking? Back there or on there?
He will do his talking in the locker room, and he's very precise. He's got his paperwork down. He's got all his game plans down, his matchups, all the things he needs to do, and they'll be prepared, and he'll talk to them, and then it'll get more intense as the game builds, and you'll see pretty soon Mike will be sweating, he'll be toweling off his forehead and everything because he gets intensity into the game, but that's how it is in basketball.
This arena has been pretty important for MK because it means that they can actually play here every day when they want, which is a bit of advantage over the other teams. So not everyone's got that, have they?
Yeah, well, it's thanks to the MK Sports Foundation. They're the ones that provide the arena. And I mean, the team can practice here every day, and that's great. And it's practice on the same setup, and no one's ever had that in England. We practice on the same floor, the way it's set up the whole time. And not only for that, the juniors get to practice here. The National League teams, they get to practice and train here every time too. So they get a chance to play on a professional arena in a professional setup. So it won't be daunting when they first get their chance to get an opportunity to do that. And also other teams come in and they give them opportunity to play, and they run the district tournament, which is all the schools. They give that for them free so they can come and run a schools tournament here. So within that, all the guys around here get a chance to play on a professional stage. So, you know, we're hoping that when it comes to their turn, they'll feel comfortable because they've been doing that their whole lives.
Okay, put your head on the block then. Who's going to win tonight? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to say Lions only because they'll never let me live it down. Say 80-75. But, you know, I played with Paul James, too, and he'll be disappointed. But I know it's good luck charm. Clive Allen isn't in the building, so I think we got a chance.
Okay, you've got a chance. Well, let's find out. Let's go now and join our commentary team. It is, of course, Rob Paternoster and Daniel Radcliffe.
Thanks very much, Vicky. Nigel going with the Lions, no surprise there. But going against PJ, that's a bit unusual. The one thing about the Lions is they don't lose very often in this building, undefeated here this year.
Well, I mean, they beat us here earlier this season, and they shot the ball well, and that's what jumped out at us, is how much better they shot the ball here than they shot the ball at our place. But they're coming off the game against Glasgow, which didn't go their way, so you expect them to have a sense of urgency tonight in this matchup versus the Wolves.
Yeah, that's the thing, and the Wolves really have done a tremendous job. In some ways, they've lost that one game, but I suppose that might take some of the focus and let them sneak back under the radar.
Well, you know, you got to give Coach James credit. It's hard bringing in new guys. It's hard to get them to gel. Usually it takes a few months, but they've come out and they've played together well, and they have guys that can beat you in different places. They have the backcourt player, Prezi Blue. They have the guy in the middle in Gordon. So they are a team that can beat you many ways and have had a great start to the season.
A real mix of old faces and new on the Wolves squads. Let's look at the two-team rosters for tonight's game, starting with the hometown Lions. And the Lions have been the most Jekyll and Hyde team in the BBL. In 10 games, they've 4 wins, all by at least 16 points, 6 defeats by a combined 100+. No consistency at all for Mike New. Demarius Bowles is the top scorer in the BBL. He brings it at both ends of the floor. Rob, you played them more than anybody else. Why are they so inconsistent?
Well, you heard Coach New before the game talk about the defense, and I think defense is a reason for that. They're giving up 97 points a game, which is the worst in the BBL right now. And when you give up that many points, it's going to be hard to be consistent.
And now to the Wolves, and Worcester may have suffered a dramatic defeat in Sheffield at the weekend, but before that they posted a club record 8 straight victories and have really been one of the surprise packages of the BBL season so far. Only Prezi Blue, Gordon and Freeman have been averaging double digits. Rob, is the key to their success keeping teams in the 70s?
Well, tonight I think it is. You heard Coach James talk about it before the game. They don't want to get in a run-and-gun show with Milton Keynes. And if they are able to keep in the 70s, that would be something, because Milton Keynes comes into the game tonight averaging 88 points a game, which is second in the BBL. So 2 different styles here. It'll be interesting to see which style wins out.
Well, that's the thing. It's really a clash of styles, and is the key for the Wolves being able to try and slow the Lions down. If you let Demarius Bowles get out on the break, he's not only the league's leading scorer, he's also right up there in assists. He's going to cause you problems.
Well, the game runs through Demarius Bowles, and if you make a shot against the Wolves, you have to get back quick, because they even run on makes, and Demarius is the guy that has the ball in his hands. But I think a key player for the Lions tonight is Stephen Gill. When he's shooting a 3, when he is making those deep threes, they are very difficult to beat. And I think Worcester will have to pay attention to Gill and don't let him get hot early.
Yeah, you mentioned Stephen Gill. I know he had a great game when you played down here earlier in the season. He's one of those guys, if he makes the first 1 or 2 threes, he could go for 7 or 8.
He can, and the thing about his threes is that they are way behind the line. And a lot of times, you're trained not to cover a guy out there, so you do keep your hands down. And in this building, he can hit them anywhere inside half court.
There's Demarius Bowles, very much the one to watch in the BBL. And we talk about his offense a lot, but he also leads the leagues in steals as well. Long arms, gets in the passing lane, deflects passes as well as taking them away.
He does. He gambles a lot defensively. He leaves his man a lot of times, and he will come from behind and try to make a steal, so you have to be careful of that. You know what those steals do? They lead to fast breaks. So Worcester will have to take care of the basketball tonight and not allow the Lions to get out on the break.
And we've talked a lot about the guards of Milton Keynes, but what about a guy like Northern averaging 15 points and 5, new into the league, Crawford as well, 12 points. It's difficult for these big guys coming into the league to get used to it.
Well, they're athletic big guys. Northern, very athletic. I like what he's given them so far. He's a good rebounder, good shot blocker, rebounds well in the offensive end. And Crawford has been up and down, has talent though, can make the jump shot, can't put it on the floor. He's recruited 2 guys that have talent. It's taken them time to get used to the league, but when they do, it should be good news for the Lions.
Certainly should be. And the team's going through their final few minutes of warm-ups. And one of the things about Paul James's squad, which is probably allowed to allow them to sneak under the radar, it is the new guys that have come in for his team. You don't often see new guys coming into the league and finding their feet straight away, but Worcester have certainly done that.
Tommy Freeman, a guy out of Ohio University, great shooter in college, has come to the BBL and shot the 3 with a lot of accuracy. And Gordon, the big man down low. Not only has he been good on the defensive end, which he was in college, but he's showing every week that he has the opportunity to become a better offensive player, and both of those guys have made immediate impacts early for the Wolves.
Yeah, they certainly have. And then you do have the experience of a guy like Sherrod Prezi Blue, who's played in the league for a few years, knows what he's doing. And then you've got Callum Jones as well, a versatile English player. So they have got some guys with plenty of BBL experience.
Well, I like what Prezi Blue has done this year. Played for Worthing last year, not a team that was well regarded in the BBL, had a lot of losses, but Coach James saw something in Prezi Blue, and he's come over, and not only has he been effective, but he's been the leader of the team. He's handled the ball at the key times, so I've been impressed with him. He is a guy that if Milton Keynes wants to slow them down, is going to have to pay attention to Prezi Blue.
Well, the 2 teams going into their huddles, we're just about a minute away from the opening tip. And what would you be saying if you were either coach here? The last few words, what are the key messages to send out there?
Well, if I'm Coach James in here, that I have to tell his guys to make sure that they get their hands up early on the guards. You do not want to give them any confidence shooting the ball from distance. And Coach New, you heard him before the game. It sounds to me like the emphasis was on defense all week. So if I'm Coach New, I'm emphasizing the fact that the only way they're going to be able to win this game is to do a better job on the defensive end.
And the Lions, starting with Carl Josie, it's a tactic they've run in recent weeks. Are you a bit surprised to see that change?
Well, it looks like they're going to bring Stephen Gill off the bench. So, not really, because Gill has shown before that he can come off the bench. And a lot of times you like to have a player that can fill up, the score sheet coming off the bench. And Josie's been a guy who had a couple injuries earlier in the year, but he is one of those guys that you would think would be committed to defense. And I think that is a sign that Coach New tonight wants to put his best defensive lineup on the floor.
Well, the 2 teams are out. The hands are being shaken all round, and we're almost ready to go here in Milton Keynes as 2 of the BBL Big Cats go head-to-head, the Lions and the Wolves. Northern is ready at the halfway line. Gordon on his haunches, referee with the ball. And we're just about ready for the opening tip here. Thumbs up all round. And here we go then. Ball is up and we are underway just about. And Worcester get the first possession of the game with Prezi Blue. Defense the cry from the home fans looking to get behind their side early on. Here's Freeman. Back to Prezi Blue. Good hands. There's one of those things you say about a slight gamble with Bolds. Got beat, but just managed to knock it loose.
Be careful with him around. He has those quick hands. Tried to slap it away, ball out of bounds. 8 on the shot clock.
Lobbed into Fernandez. Fernandez up in the air, gets it to Prezi Blue. Time running low on the offense. Got to get the shot off. Does get it off. The long rebound comes out to Demarius Bolds. He looks to push as ever. Kicked out to Joseph. Fakes at the 3. Pedrosa will take it. And there are the first points of the game.
Well, long rebound led to the fast break. Good job by Josie to pitch it over to Pedrosa, and he knocks down the wide open 3.
Worcester with Fernandez penetrating through the lane, dumps off to Gordon. Gordon rearranged, lays it in. Good assist.
Slick play from Fernandez, the drive, the look away, and Gordon right there to finish it up.
Pedrosa up top, gets it on to Crawford. And now Bowles. Northern behind the three-point line, all round the arc at the moment for the Lions. Now they go inside to Northern, spins one way, goes back and tosses it up. The home court roll doesn't quite drop in for him. Fernandez with a little bounce to Gordon, it's knocked away. Paul James to his feet looking for a foul, nothing to it. Bowles with a little stutter, steps back, tough shot from Bowles. And frantic play here in the opening couple of minutes.
Nice move before by Fernandez. The first time led to a layup. The next time got the ball to Gordon, who didn't finish, but good job from him so far.
Freeman penetrates to the hole and converts despite Crawford diving at him.
Freeman is a great shooter from outside, so you have to press up on him. But if he can go by you like that, that's going to make him more dangerous.
Ooh. Blocked. Offensive foul is called first. The stand by Freeman, and the charge is called against Northern.
Wow, Freeman's a great defensive player. As you see Crawford with the crossover there, Freeman jumped inside there to draw the charge. Sorry, I was saying Gordon was a great defensive player, and that's nice to have a guy in the back, if you get beat, that can clean it up. A nice block from Gordon early on.
Put his body on the line there. Here's Freeman attacking the hole. That one bubbles out, and Josie with the rebound. Just about got it to Pedrosa, but it was knocked loose by Gordon. Pedrosa bouncing it down, but Gordon reaches in and knocks it out of bounds.
Both teams playing good defense so far. Nothing has been, other than the Pedrosa wide open look, they've been aggressive on both ends of the floor.
Bowles looking for something to happen, nothing doing, so he goes it alone, steps back to the foul line, long way short on that one, and air ball out of bounds.
Nice defense from Fernandez. Not only has he gone by Bowles getting to the basket, made him take a tough step back shot. Good start from Fernandez.
4-3 the Wolves lead here. Just under 3 minutes gone in the game. Great hands from Bowles to knock that loose, and he will get a credited steal for that because Freeman can only knock it out of bounds.
Tough spot. A good job by Bowles making him catch it far away from the basket, then pressed up on him. And the quick hands of Bowles. Give me that. And Freeman knocks it out of bounds.
Bowles. Pedrosa. Crawford. Under pressure of the shot clock as well as the defense. Pedrosa's three comes to Bowles. Nice. Oh, what a pass from Demarius Bowles, and is jammed in by Crawford.
Oh, great play from Bowles. He had eyes all around with the tap pass and the jam from Crawford.
Crawford gets his hand in the lane, bats it down. Northern comes down with it. Loose ball is in Josie's hands. He's on his own. He goes alone to the hole, and one for Carl Josie. He was outnumbered, but he didn't stop him getting to the basket.
Yeah, when he took off to the basket, you said, wait a minute, there's too many guys back. But Josie was powerful, as you see here. Drives, draws the contact, and finishes. And here's the pass from Bowles, and that's so quick. He gets it in his hands, finds the Milton Keynes Lions player Crawford underneath for the jam, and the Milton Keynes Lions crowd like that one.
The two really great plays from the Lions in a row. There's nothing that Giza fans up than a dunk and an and one. Here's Prezi Blue for the Wolves. Freeman around the screen, quickly closed down by Josie. Fernandez from the mid-range, tapped by Northern, and eventually comes down in Pedrosa's hand. Bounce down low to Northern, squares up to Gordon. Fakes at him, drives baseline, double team there, goes up and down with it. That'll be a travel. And once he got himself in that trap, he was always struggling.
Nice job from Fernandez. He came over to help. Looked like Northern was going to be able to beat Gordon on the baseline, and Fernandez came over with the trap, which caused the turnover.
Adrian Sturt into the game for the first time for Milton Keynes. Gives Crawford a breather. It's an 8-4 Lions lead. We played 4 minutes, almost stolen away by Bowles, and there again, just demonstrating how he gets into the passing lanes.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those cross-court passes. He's up there, and if he gets that steal, he's going to the other end for two.
Prezi Blue. Freeman behind the arc for three, rattles about and tipped in by Gordon underneath. Oh, good hands from Fernandez to knock it loose, but Milton Keynes will keep possession of the ball.
Nice job, Gordon, underneath the basket there for the tip. But I like what Fernandez is doing. I mean, good job. Both ends of the floor, almost comes up with the steal. Real heady player. Looks like a good find by Coach James.
Northern at the top, round to Bowles in front of his coach. Bowles, little cross, fired up, off the back of the ring, rebound Sturt. And Pedrosa will reset for the Milton Keynes Lions. Pedrosa fires up for three, doesn't quite go. Sturt going after the offensive rebound. He's quite active on the glass.
He is, he's long. You know, he also can shoot the ball from distance at 6'10". But so far, you like the look of the Wolves half-court offense. They seem to be getting better shots right there. Not a great look for Pedrosa. Milton Keynes hasn't been able to get into their sets and get anything productive out of it.
Prezi Blue around the screen. Northern jumps out to try and make it difficult for him. Freeman penetrates out. Shot goes up and goes in the corner from Zimnick. A tough shot in the corner.
Yeah, good stroke. A big man can step out and hit the three. And when you have a guy 6'10" like that can step out and hit the three, that's trouble.
Bowles rearranged his foul by Gordon. And he will go to the line for two.
Well, that time Fernandez a little over-aggressive, went for the steal. And if you give Bowles the lane like that, he's going to take advantage of it. And it looks like maybe it was a clean block. It was a good drive from Bowles. But Gordon, who made his name in college as a defensive player, great defensive player in college, and he was over there, looked to me like he got a clean block.
It's tough on that play where Bowles is going up and down. If you come across, it almost looks like you have to foul him. Demarius Bowles from the line puts Milton Keynes 1 point in front. Little full court pressure coming here from the Lions. Prezi Blue doesn't have too many problems crossing the halfway line. But they keep that pressure right up to the halfway line. That'll be very close to the halfway line there. Josie just tried to bump him over the line for a backcourt violation.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call. He did make the body contact, and that's an area that is very difficult. You don't want to get yourself caught near that half-court line, because if you step over, that's the backcourt.
Well, the horn had gone. I think Milton Keynes were trying to get a substitution into the game. Referee's just checking with the table, and yes, that was the case. They did blow the horn, but nobody picked up on it. Crawford will come back in for Stoke. So we'll try that inbound again. Prezi Blue. Freeman from the elbow, off the back of the ring, rebound Joseph.
Freeman does a good job away from the ball. Really moves well with the screens. Got himself a good look, but just didn't knock it down.
Bowles with a little stop and go, drives through again. Just finds gaps where they don't seem to be in.
Oh, he's so slippery there. You think you have him stopped, but he has great body control, and he can finish going either way. Just a nightmare to defend.
Prezi Blue penetrates to Gordon, good dish, and Gordon lays it in.
Nice play from Prezi Blue. He made the play with the little shake and bake and set up Gordon for the easy basket.
Pull up from Demarius Bowles. Long rebound almost comes out to Fernandez. He does get it at the second attempt.
Ooh.
Fernandez goes past Bowles. Oh, what a move!
Oh, hola! The move around the back. He goes to the hoop, and Fernandez is showing his game tonight, Daniel.
Northern. Bowles. Dumped down, and Crawford goes hard. Kozlowski's just trying to get out of the way there as he laid it in.
Nice set offense there from Milton Keynes. They were able, and here you go. Hola! The move around the back and with the finish. Impressive start so far. But good play for Milton Keynes last time down the floor.
Freeman in the corner for three, doesn't quite go. And that one's pulled in by Northern. And Milton Keynes dropped back out to the halfway line and changed the play here. Shot clock down to 6. Got to go now. Bowles finds some space. That one rims out. Wolves with the ball. Prezi Blue, nice cut through the lane and fires it up high.
Wow, some nice moves back-to-back. Fernandez and now Prezi Blue, and throws up the floater and gets it to go. Great move.
Northern looking for some help, finds Josie, fires up for 3. Off the ring, Kozlowskis was there, but pulled away from him by Richie Gordon, and a sloppy one there. Turnover, Lions get it back. Block, oh, what a block from Gordon. Good hands from Bowles to tip it out.
Wow, nice block from Gordon. I mean, it's probably not a wise thing to challenge him if you're a guard one-on-one. As you see there, he smeared it on the backboard after a sloppy play. On the turnover, he was there to protect the rim. And, you know, when you have a guy like Gordon, you know, on your back line, it helps your defense out so much. You can gamble at times because you feel like he is going to be back there to protect you if you need it.
Zimnikas into the game for the first time, along with David Watts, who inbounded it. Freeman fires up for 3. That doesn't quite go, and they've had a few struggles from behind the arc here in the opening quarter.
Well, Freeman is a good shooter, and he's done a great job of getting open. They've done a great job of getting him the ball, but he hasn't done a great job of knocking down the open looks.
Sturt's going to check back into the game for Milton Keynes with Pedrosa sitting down. Prezi Blue. Freeman guarded by Bowles, has screens left and right, goes around the screen from Zimnikas. Gordon with the jump shot, doesn't quite roll in for him. Coach applauds it. That's just one of them where the ring wouldn't let it roll. Here's Gill. Gill penetrates, is blocked twice. Watts got him first and then Gordon, and it will be an end-line ball.
Well, the Milton Keynes Lions guards better realize that if you're going to take it to the basket, Richie Gordon is going to be there. Watts got a piece, but Gordon is in the back to protect it as he blocks it out of bounds. Nice play.
Gill, though, has great elevation for a little guy. Here he is doing what he does best with 3, and you can't let him hit the first couple.
Nice play out of bounds there. They found Gill wide open, and when he's wide open in here, he usually knocks it down.
Gordon off the front of the ring ball, batted up in the end. Northern comes down with it. Bowles is out in front. Bowles driving to the hole, big collision, and an offensive foul is the call against Demarius Bowles.
Well, what makes Bowles tough is he catches that outlet out at the half-court line. But again, nice job by Freeman. He stepped in once before, and that time you see him step in. Let's see if he's set. Ooh, maybe he might have been moving. That's a tough call, one of the hardest calls in basketball. But he is willing to throw his body in front of Bowles, so you have to give him credit for that.
Well, that's the thing you pick up here in this first quarter is twice there he stood there and been mowed over by a Milton Keynes player and took that charge for the team.
And as a coach, you love that, and you know, your players also love that. So although he's having a hard time from beyond the arc, nice job by Freeman on the defensive end.
Prezi Blue drives. Oh, my goodness! Northern came from the weak side and swatted down. Oh! The alley-oop from Zimnikas.
Hello!
Jammed down by Gordon.
Oh, there's some athleticism in this game. Great block by Northern. He threw it out, but then the lob to Gordon, who throws it down. Good start, both teams.
Good hands from Gordon, and he's out in front on the break. Goes up, one-handed throwdown.
Wow, man, a good job by Gordon, but he is doing it on both ends of the floor.
Not loose by Freeman, but illegally so, a little reach in, and he's called for the foul. Here's another look at the block. Look how far he comes.
Athleticism right there, and Prezi get a little step, and he comes over. Get out of there. It's a block party here tonight.
Richie Gordon getting himself a breather. Kozlowskis checking back in. Kozlowskis liked that dunk. He sat right next to us here on the subs bench. He enjoyed that dunk from Gordon. Sturt will inbound to Bowles. 30 seconds.
Usually the guys that can't do it enjoy it more. And that goes for me, you, and Kozlowskis.
That'll reset the shot clock. It was down to 11. It will now add a few more on to get down to 14 under the new rules this year. Just speeds the game up a little bit more. See, in the old world, they could have tipped that all the way down. As it is, Worcester will get one back. No, they won't, because Crawford with an offensive rebound. Oh, he misses because Lauskas is in there, and it comes off him last. And now Milton Keynes can take the last shot of the first quarter if they wish.
Boy, you see with Gordon off the floor there, it opens up a little bit, and good job by Milton Keynes on the offensive glass.
Bolds wants to hand it over to Gill, but Prezi Blue forces them to collide into each other and out of bounds. Well, nothing Mike New could do about that. Almost stolen away by Gill. Last couple of seconds here of the first quarter. Prezi Blue looks up, 5 on the clock, gets it to Watts. Watts fires up for 3, halfway down. Bolds glances to the clock, realizes he's got to throw it. And wow, what a first quarter that was, Rob.
Oh, it certainly was. Both teams showing defense, offense, the athleticism's been there. It looks like we're going in for a good game, Daniel. Both teams have brought their game tonight.
It certainly has been an excellent first period. It's hard to judge who had the upper hand.
Well, you know, I like the way the Wolves have played in the half-court offense. They look like they're getting good shots. If Freeman had made any of his threes, it looked they'd be in for a bigger advantage. But Milton Keynes did a decent job on defense. Northern's cleaning up the mess underneath. Looks like we're ready for a good one.
This is the iPhone 4S. Its all-new camera with 8 megapixels and advanced optics lets you capture stunning photos. And because it's an iPhone, you can do things no ordinary camera can do. So maybe the only camera you need is the one on the most amazing iPhone yet.
This Tuesday, buy any medium or large pizza from Domino's, and we'll deliver you another pizza absolutely free. Domino's 2 for Tuesdays, giving them away.
Prepared for the day, ready for the night. Boss Bottled and Boss Bottled Night. Boss Bottled Night, winner of the Men's Health Readers Award.
Welcome back to Milton Keynes. Tight game here. Mark Woods has been down on the Milton Keynes bench. Mark, what can you tell us?
Mike knew there in that timeout. He's really keen for those guys to make sure that Worcester don't take perimeter drives, don't have room in the perimeter, and to make sure they keep their guys away from the basket on defense. Defense, of course, as we heard before the game, a real point of emphasis for both coaches.
Well, there you go. He's defense, as you would expect, the first thing coming out of Mike New's mouth there in that timeout.
Well, both teams playing pretty good defense so far. Milton Keynes struggling to shoot the basketball, 6 of 19 in the first quarter. Demarius Bowles, 1 for 7. And on the other side, Tommy Freeman, 1 for 6. The Wolves, 9 for 21 at 43%. So both teams playing good defense, shots not dropping. Look for more shots to drop as the game goes on.
We've had a few rattlers just bouncing around the ring that on another day, all of those go in. There's an offensive foul called off the ball. I think it's on Sturt setting the illegal screen. I just saw in the corner of my eye, Honest Kozlauskas getting bumped out of the way.
And as a coach, you're so disappointed in that. That's a turnover. You know, you come out of the break and you set an illegal screen like that, give the ball right back to the Wolves.
Freeman. Round the screen. It's up to Kozlauskas from behind the arc for 3, a little bit short, and Gill with the rebound. Gill looking to push, gets it to Bowles, head fakes the 3, steps back and takes it at the second attempt. Demarius Bowles talks to himself, pleased he finally got one to go.
Yeah, nice fake. That's a tough fake. When you fake it up over your head, the defender bit and left Bowles with an open look as he knocks it down.
Prezi Blue, tough shot to reply for 3 count. Northern up high to pull in a good rebound. Bolds backs out, waits for them to set up a all 4 high. Sturt. Bolds on the far side. Fans counting down the shot clock as Bolds drives in. Under pressure, and Demarius Bolds with 2 buckets in a row.
Nice job. He went left that time, and the athleticism that he had allowed him to raise up in the lane. Good shot. Comes out after his tough first quarter, makes his first 2 shots.
Watts gets it to Prezi Blue. Prezi Blue has to throw it up high. Great rebound from the big man, Kozlauskas.
Well, he's not Gordon underneath there. He's not going to throw it down, but he's smart. He's effective as he got his body in the right place, and he put the ball in for 2.
Bolds for 3. Demarius Bolds with 8 in a hurry here in the start of the second quarter.
Well, hey, Worcester, it's time to come out and cover Mr. Bolds because right now he is in one of those zones.
Prezi Blue tries to reply again and once again draws iron. Rebound Northern. Here comes Gill. Gill penetrates, throws it up high, and is fouled by Watts. Stefan Gill will go to the line shooting a pass.
Wow, good start from Milton Keynes here in the second quarter. Bolds and Gill really pushing the basketball right there. Gill with that hesitation drive right, and Watts goes up, hits him a little bit with the body as he tried the floater, and Coach James for Wolves would like to talk it over.
Timeout called, just over 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes gone, sorry, in the second quarter, and it's never a good thing for a coach to call a timeout this early in the quarter. Usually it means something's gone wrong, and what's gone wrong is they lost Demarius Bolds on 3 straight offenses.
Well, what you have to be careful for with Milton Keynes is the runs that they go on, especially in here. And Coach James knows that. Good timeout from him because you could be playing good defense 10 minutes or so, then all of a sudden with Bolds and Gill getting hot, it's trouble. So good job by him. Settle the troops down. Talk about how important it is to get a hand up on Bolds right now the way he's playing. Come out and have a better idea what you're doing on the defensive end.
Because we talked a lot about the different styles of these 2 teams, certainly the numbers they've been putting up. Milton Keynes score a lot of points but give up even more, whereas Worcester defensively keep a lock. They'll be wanting to try and keep this scoreboard low, and if you allow Bolds to pour in 8 points in 2 minutes, that doesn't help.
Well, when you're not shooting the ball well, really like Worcester, that's trouble against Milton Keynes because missed shots and long rebounds leads to transition. So a good way to stop Milton Keynes on the offensive end is to run good offense and get good shots, because if you don't, they will punish you in transition.
Well, they've had some good looks, but 1 of 9 from the 3-point line has really hurt the Worcester Wolves here in the opening 12 minutes. As Gill makes them both from the line and makes it a 6-point Milton Keynes lead. I think that's as big as it's been. Freeman.
Milton Keynes in his zone right now with the pressure and then fell back into his zone. Let's see how the Wolves adjust to it.
Well, it's taken them a couple of seconds just to work out what they're going to do against it. Now they've got to shoot because the clock is getting low. Jones underneath, knew he had to throw it. Gordon traveled with it, did he? No, 24-second violation of call. Did not get the shot off in time, and good defense from the line.
Well, good job by Coach New. He changed the defense. Usually when you come out of a timeout, you like to change the defense because the Coach James may be calling a play. Good job by Coach New and good job by the line.
Well, Gill looked like he had the lane to the basket, but he went, you know what, I can make this 18-footer. I don't need to go that close.
Be careful with him going right. He's tough going right.
Jones trying to go baseline, and Sturt caught him with the hip. That'll be his second personal foul.
Well, the play before with Gill, he's up on the right side, and he likes to lower you to sleep with the left hand, then cross it back to the right. And he does a great job of making running floaters off the glass. I mean, a lot of guys have trouble with those, but he seems comfortable with that shot.
Josie back into the game for the Lions. Inbounded to Jones. Freeman for 3. Yes.
Hey, why not? Why not, Freeman? You're a good shooter. Stay confident. And he did. He caught the ball. He was ready to knock it down. Stroked it from deep.
That is first of the game as Gill tries to hit from 15 feet. Ball ends up in Gordon's hands. Prezi Blue to Kozlowskis. Freeman. Freeman tries again. Yes, same result.
Hello, Mr. Freeman. He's not shy, I'll tell you that. The last one he buried, and this time he sized the defender up with a little shake and bake. And as you can see, he's the type of guy that can get hot in a hurry.
Well, he missed his first 3. He's made his last 2 from behind the arc, and that'll be a foul on Jones as he tried to prevent the ball going in to Demarius Bowles.
Obviously, you have to have the skill to be able to make the jump shot, but you also have to have that mind to forget about the last couple of misses. If you are a shooter, that's what you do, and you have to go out there and, you know, have the confidence to take the shots and make them.
Gill bounces it into Crawford. Crawford going up against Kozlowskis and is called for the foul. Kozlowskis holding foul. I think it was as he goes to slap to try and knock the ball away. The big fellas have just got to keep their hands out and play defense with their chest.
Yeah, I thought he played pretty good defense, but you're right. He did reach down, and good call.
Inbounded to Bowles. Gill coming around the screen, fires up for 3.
Whoa.
Stephen Gill with another.
Oh, good pass from Bowles. Hit him in stride, but good screen from Daniel Northern. That big screen at the top, hard to get around, and Gill is on fire.
Here's Freeman for a 3rd in a row. Not this time, that one's a little long, and Crawford pulls in the rebound. Here's Gill. Gill stops, almost loses it. 3 Wolves going after it, but Gill hung on. Here's Bowles now for 3. That one doesn't drop, and Freeman pulls in the rebound. Prezi Blue, little stop and go, pulls up, tough shot from Prezi Blue, is a little short. Northern up high for the rebound. Josie pushing, has Crawford ahead, is blocked by Kozlowskis, just grabbed hold of the ball, and Kozlowskis runs down court and says, come on. Trying to speed Prezi Blue up. Gill is called for the foul as he tried to jump around the screen.
I like what I've seen from Kozlowskis so far. Older player, veteran player, obviously not super athletic by any means, but very intelligent on both ends of the floor, passes it well, plays good team defense. You know, looks like a guy that Coach James can, you know, hang his hat on as far as following directions on both ends of the floor. And Kozlowskis, to me, a very valuable player for the Wolves.
Certainly a big presence inside. The Lithuanian, 35 years of age now. Dumped down to Fernandez. Skip around, good hands to break it up, but it's kept by the Wolves. They've got to get a shot off. The clock is getting low. Prezi Blue down to 2. Freeman's got to shoot. Don't think he got it off in time. He didn't, said the referee, and it was an air ball anyway.
Looks like Prezi Blue lost a little sight of the clock there. When it gets down under 5, you got to get to the basket and make a play. Put Freeman in a tough position, and he wasn't able to convert.
Well, the Lions 32, the Wolves 27. We're midway through the second quarter here. Tight game from the start. Pedrosa fires up for 3. That one goes over the top of the ring, hits the stanchion. That's out of bounds. It will be a Wolves ball.
Fernandez back in the game for the Wolves. And his assignment right away is to go to Demarius Bowles. And it looks like there was a foul call.
Yeah, there was a foul, I think, on Scholl. It certainly was an out of bounds, but obviously the referee saw something we didn't. That's illegal. Fernandez was trying to hand off to Prezi Blue. Prezi Blue, I don't think, was expecting it. So Fernandez took it back and tried to hope that the official behind him didn't see it.
Well, Coach New's been talking about defense, and he had to like that aggressive defense from Gill in the backcourt, forcing the turnover. Zone defense now for the Wolves.
Gill, you got to know where the shooter is in that. Northern with the rebound. Good hands from Freeman helping down. Kozlowskis doesn't really want it in the open court, so he gets it onto Freeman, and Pedrosa is just a little bit too close to Freeman as he caught and went there.
Yeah, too close to him. Freeman, smart player that he is, saw that he was close, put his head down. And look at the baseball pass from the Lithuanian. Good pass, and call contact with the body. And
referee Roger Harrison just goes to Paul James, says, what's up? Paul's not happy with something, so he just has a quick word. In the meantime, that'll allow Freeman to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
Obviously, Coach James and Roger Harrison have known each other for a long, long time.
And then some.
And then some. Two veterans of the BBL world.
Freeman makes them from the line. 3-point game, 4.5 to play. Shaw on to Bowles. Bowles up at the screen from Northern. Dances through, gets it out to Gill in the corner. Pedroso for three, and the extra pass gets them the open shot.
Well, the penetration from Bowles set it up, but like Stephen Gill there with the extra pass, and Pedroso, who missed his last one, showed confidence to knock down the jumper.
Wolves just having one or two problems with this all up-court pressure from Milton Keynes here. Is Freeman driving in hard, and that will be an offensive foul, is it, on Freeman? Just a little drop of the shoulder.
Well, he did a nice job, and he has done a nice job all game of coming around those big picks from Gordon and Keselowskis. But that time, the referee judged him to lean in and called the offensive foul.
Pedroso over the halfway line, gets it on to Bowles for the Lions. Pedroso open for three, rattles down. We've had quite a few of them just bobble out like that. Prezi Blue leaves 2 lines in his wake. 5 on 3 here. Fernandez takes it in. Whoa. And whoa, Bowles came from nowhere. They didn't take advantage of the extra numbers, and Northern is back to jam it down.
Wow, and then action, Bowles up to Northern, who's been a force on the board so far, says, hey, give me the ball for once, and he throws it down in transition.
Well, that was really sloppy by the Wolves as Bowles has called for it. They had 5 on 3, and they end up giving a dunk up at the other end.
Well, right here you see Fernandez with the drive, and Bowles came out of nowhere to try to swat it. Then he always keeps his head up, and Northern running, finishes with the big hands and the throw down. That's a big guy running the floor like that, and credit Bowles for rewarding him, finding him, and Northern doesn't disappoint with the throwdown.
Fernandez a long way short on the first free throw. And Milton Keynes, they've had a couple of little spurts in this game. And that has seen them out into the lead. Northern pulls down the rebound.
Good pass.
Bowles dumped it to Shaw and just couldn't hang on to it.
Well, that's a great outlet pass from Northern. He's been great on the boards, but he's also been good at getting the outlet pass out to Bowles. And too bad Shaw tried to jump there, or else he would have had a layup. Nice.
Keselowskis for three, doesn't quite go. Rebound for Fernandez, and he's fouled. I think Northern just got him on the arm. Wait for confirmation from the official. Yes, it is 10 that is signaled to the table.
Well, both Keselowskis and Gordon, the big guys for Wolves, can pass, and that's very dangerous to play against when you have big guys that can make the pass. That was a nice pass from Gordon out to Keselowskis. But if you're Milton Keynes right now, you know, you talk about before the game how many points they're giving up 97 points a game. Right now you look at up the clock, 2:51 to go, and they've only allowed 29 to the Wolves.
Well, let's see what Mark's got to tell us over on the sideline.
This Milton Keynes Lions franchise has had a somewhat checkered history, an itinerant history. Started off at Hemel, then went to Watford, then ended up at Bletchley for a long time, then a shopping centre, and then here in a place that used to be a place where they printed off bank checkbooks. Now, plans we can reveal tonight. The Lions may be moving in 2014 to a 3,500-seater arena, not that far from here. They've got land there that hopefully will be donated by the local council. 4 acres. They'll want to have their own dedicated building where they can put all the youth development, all the teams, and pack this place out night after night, increasing the ambition of the Milton Keynes Lions.
Thank you very much, Mark. And I mean, that's really the future in the BBL, is to own your own building. It's so difficult for teams where they have to go in and be a tenant because they don't get first choice every time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's nice for the Lions to be able to come in here whenever they want, to get practice whenever they want. I mean, in the middle of the night, if Demarius Bowles suddenly wakes up in a cold sweat and says, I can't shoot free throws, he can make the phone call and says, give me the key, let me go in. So most teams, you know, probably no teams have that capability right now, and, you know, Milton Keynes should be taking advantage of that because that's really nice.
Fernandez then at the line. Front rim's the first one, got a bit more distance on it than his last trip, but not much.
And they have had a tough time with some of their shots tonight, the Wolves. They have gone in and out on them, been a little bit unlucky so far.
He'll get himself a break as Watts checks back into the game. Just under 3 to go, 7-point Milton Keynes lead. Bowles just checks with his coach to see what the play should be. Pedrosa to Bowles. Bowles drives in, not loose by Prezi Boots. Kicked out to him. Pedrosa is back just for a minute there, but we were going to see him in the face as he came running towards us. Underneath is Northern, and he's caught by Kozlauskas, and Northern will go to line for 2.
Unfortunate there for the Wolves. Looked like they had a steal and had a chance to break up court, but Pedrosa came over and made a nice steal. And what was so nice about it was he was out of bounds, but he jumped back in to make sure he can get the ball. So nice play from Pedrosa, and then he found Northern underneath the basket, who will go to line for 2.
Second personal foul on Kozlauskas. They did put up 3 for a moment there, but first free throw is short.
Daniel Northern struggles at the foul line. As you can see with the stroke, there's a little hesitation there. And it's hard to be consistent on the foul line when you have that hesitation. But he's had a good game so far tonight, been very active on both ends of the floor.
Leading rebounder with 8. Kozlauskas clears out Gill. Lions fans wanting a foul, nothing doing. Prezi Blue with a little head fake. Bowles goes flying by. Prezi Blue's long rebound comes out to Watts. Watts will let it go for 3. You can't leave him that open, but he doesn't punish them.
It's been a tough night here for the Wolves from beyond the arc, struggling from all over the place.
Northern finds a little gap inside and lays it in for 2. Yeah, 3 of 15 they are now from behind the arc. The Worcester Wolves after those 2 misses. Freeman bouncing it down to Gordon, and Gordon could have had a dribble and a jam there. I don't think he quite realized how much time he had.
Well, he's thrown him down hard before, but that time the gentle little floater in the lane. Gordon showing many ways that he can score, but good pass in there. Bad defense, no help side. Gordon takes advantage of it.
They're all worth 2, however they go through the ring. That's a little reach round from Sherrod Prezi Blue, and he's called for the foul.
Well, Prezi Blue didn't like that call, but the nice thing about Prezi Blue is, he keeps his composure, but the look on his face, he didn't think he made contact. And that's a tough one, too, because the Lions are in the bonus, so 30 feet from the basket, you commit the foul and send him to the line for 2.
Just over a minute to go, Mike New calls a timeout for Milton Keynes. He's got to be pretty pleased to just over a minute from halftime, 8 points up.
Yeah, I like defensively what they've done. They've certainly gotten into the Wolves. They've made it difficult at times for them to bring the ball up over half court. Granted, the Wolves have missed some open shots, but you like what you see out of Milton Keynes defensively. Coach New challenged them before the game to do that, and they're responding.
Yeah, 32 points given up. I mean, on pace for maybe 70 in a game. You'll win a lot of games if you keep the other team to 70.
No doubt about it. And right now, both teams 1:16 to go. The end of the quarters are always important, especially going into halftime, because you don't want any momentum swings if you're Coach New. You've had the lead here for the last few minutes. You want to keep that. But Coach James on the sideline here, draw something up to come out. Maybe you get a quick 3 or something and get that momentum going in at halftime.
Well, Stephen Gill will go to the free throw line, where he will shoot 2 after that foul on Prezi Blue. As Rob said, a long way from basket, but over the limit for the quarter means the Lions get freebies on all of these fouls, and he makes both.
And they're 8 of 9 tonight on the foul line. Good job by them knocking down their free throws.
And a 10-point lead. This full court pressure is causing some problems. Got to get it over the line. They don't get it over the halfway line. You have 8 seconds to cross the halfway line. And they've struggled with this up-court pressure.
They have. Good job by Coach New recognizing that. And after they got that 8-second call, Coach New punched his fist in the air. And obviously have been working on that all week in practice. And so far it's paid off.
Well, this is what you were talking, little momentum things. You can get a defensive stop without even crossing the line. Gill for three, doesn't quite go. Freeman kicks it out to Prezi Blue. Prezi Blue racing back, and Bolds knew he couldn't do anything about it, didn't want to commit a foul, so let him go. Bolds rushing quick. Oh, what a move from Demarius Bolds, dancing to the hole.
Oh, certainly did. He gave the little shimmy shake going to the lane and just glided his way to the basket. Even after makes, they get out in transition and score.
Prezi Blue down into Gordon. Gordon dumps off to Kozlowskis, and the big fella lays it in.
Kozlowskis to Gordon, Gordon to Kozlowskis. Both guys can pass to each other. Makes it difficult to defend.
They have a quick glance at the clock. They'll see there's about a second or so, maybe a second and a half, between the shot and game clocks, and Milton Keynes is going to try and tick this down. Last 10 seconds here. Bolds fires up for three, doesn't go. Rebound Scholl, still chance for the Lions to get another shot off. It's round to Gill. Gill with the head fake. Gill, is he caught? No, he isn't. Milton Keynes wanting a foul, nothing doing, and that'll do it for the first half. And a good first half for the Lions. Coach knew he's disappointed with that call, but the 20 minutes that preceded, he will be happy.
No doubt, go into the locker room with the 8-point lead, but more importantly, the defense has shown up. Only allowed 36 points. Nice job by Milton Keynes.
Certainly is a excellent job by the Milton Keynes Lions here. They lead at the end of the second quarter by 44 points to 36. We're at the half here in Milton Keynes. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Charlie Luxton, and this is the Great Treehouse Challenge.
Charlie Luxton is bringing local communities together to build the treehouse
This is your treehouse. Please open your eyes.
they've all dreamt of.
Amazing. Love treehouses. Be a big kid again.
The Great Treehouse Challenge starts Monday, 12th of December at 8 on Sky 1 HD.
Premier Banking from Barclays sponsors Sky Movies box office.
You stupid little runt. I can crush you anytime I want.
I'm not gonna sleep with you.
See about that. I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
We gotta hire a professional.
Are you talking about a hitman?
But my boss, who we're thinking about planning to kill, is dying in front of you and you saved his life? Well, that sounds bad when you say it like that.
Horrible Bosses on Sky Movies box office in HD, on TV, online and on demand.
As soon as I wake up, every night, every day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away.
The award-winning Galaxy S2. Brighter, slimmer, faster.
All Sky Movies 1 and 2 customers, you can now make an exclusive saving when you rent a movie from Sky Movies box office. Get more great movies for less.
Welcome back to the MK Arena. It is 44-36 to the MK Lions against the Worcester Wolves. Let's go to Nigel, who's still with me at the moment. Nigel, what did you make of the game so far?
Oh, I thought it was a well-executed game. I thought Milton Keynes made some problems on offense when they could have worked a little better. I thought the transition was well. Both teams' transition was very good. I thought the half-court execution was poor. Not poor, but not as good as it could be. I thought also Worcester missed a few shots. They got some open looks, and the three-point shot, he got hot late, but he could have hit earlier.
What's been the difference for you then from the NK Lions?
Oh, I think their rebounding, their hustle on defense, their transition, and also their intensity. When they got 8-second call, they're actually up there pressing and trapping the ball all over. So I think the defensive intensity has been better for the MK Lions.
Okay, let's just leave it there for a moment, Nigel. We're going to go courtside and join Mark Woods, who's with Richie Gordon.
Daniel, 8-point lead for Milton Keynes at halftime, and you guys playing your best basketball in front of your home fans tonight.
I wouldn't say our best, but we're playing good defense. Offense looks kind of sloppy at times. I think we should actually be up by more, with us holding them to 36.
Winning the battle of the boards, how big a thing has that been in the points of emphasis tonight from Coach New?
I mean, I pride myself on rebounding, so I pride myself on rebounding, so does my teammates, so we get them.
In that second quarter, you were able to accelerate. Is a lot of this going to be about hustle tonight, particularly going into the second half?
Yeah, it's going to be about execution, not necessarily hustle. Both teams hustle well, so it's really going to be about who scores in the half-court offense.
You guys at times have looked at Demarius to put points on the board tonight. It's been spread around tonight. Is that another key factor for you guys?
Yes, I mean, he has 2 quarters to get all the points he deserves, so he'll score his baskets when we need him to.
Confident you can hold on?
Yes, yes. We've let go of some leads, but I feel good about today.
Thanks.
Eagle-eyed among you there will notice that that was definitely Daniel Northern, not Richie Gordon. Daniel reckons that they can hold on. Do you feel that about this game and they've got the momentum?
Yes, I do. I think the intensity is up from Milton Keynes, and they look like they want to concentrate for the whole game. Their problem will be, Worcester's going to make a run, and if Worcester catches them or goes in front by 1 or 2, how do they respond to that?
What have you made of the partnership of Northern there with Bolds? They've combined well, haven't they?
They have. Daniels, he's a defensive guy. He wants to rebound. He wants to run the floor. He wants to pride himself on his defense and his rebound. And obviously, Bolds is an excellent scorer. He's inside, outside, and he's very unselfish. So I think they play very well together, and they feed off of each other.
We can take a look at some of the action from the first half. You can talk us through it. There's been some key moments for them, haven't there?
Oh, yeah, that's Demarius with the rebound and the quick pass to Howard Crawford for an easy jam. That's good, excellent eyes and court vision by Demarius Ball. Oh, that's Daniel Northern, yes.
Outrageous.
Yeah, that's good athleticism by Daniel Northern to get the block shot. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to impact the game defensively. And Demarius, he just give him a little angle. He can slide through there, and he can also make an easy basket. And this is a great move for Paul Josie. He's really aggressive with 2 guys back, but he took a chance and he was able to score. And then Stephon Gill with a great out-of-bounds play. Rob highlighted it. They ran out-of-bounds play and he was able to come off a shot. And then the big fella running the floor. You always got to reward him whenever he runs the floor. And he got Northern down for a dunk in transition.
How do you combat a player like Northern if you're Wolves now?
Well, what you have to do is you have to go at him. He's very good at help side defense, blocking shots. But what you have to do is his man has to try to go at him, be aggressive to get him in foul trouble. And also you have to put the ball up nice and high and let your other rebounder come get it. Because if he doesn't get the block shot, then there's always a rebound there for it. So Paul has to make sure that his guy, Richie Gordon, be aggressively going at Daniel. And also then they got to get the ball up nice and high. So if he misses it, they can gobble up the offensive rebounds.
What about Paul James at the moment? What will he be telling them? Because they started that second quarter pretty badly, didn't they?
They did. I think Paul's going to think, because of course all the close games he's had, that they can come back from anything. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well. And if they play a little bit more unselfish and they knock down some shots, they could be in this game. So I don't think he'll be too down on his team, because I think they missed some shots that they normally hit. And of course, I don't think the off guard is going to come go 1 for 6 at the beginning of this quarter. If he does, then he will be in trouble. So if they get open looks, they just have to knock them down.
Let's talk about the positives then for Wolves. Let's see some of their action. Fernandez, he's been a key player, and Freeman there, as you see.
Oh, yeah, Freeman. He was supposed to be a shooter, but he was able to take the ball straight to the basket and able to score. And that was Fernandez in transition. He just was being aggressive with the ball, nice move behind the back, and a nice finish in paint.
What about their offense, do you think? Do you think Paul James will be happy with that?
No, I think the defense we just saw with the block shots and able to draw a charge, I think he will like that. I think offensively, like I said, I think that they look like they had open looks. They just have to knock them down. And that was a great shot by Freeman. That's what we all thought he could do. He's a very good three-point shooter. And he was able to get Carl Josie to freeze and pull up and take a nice open 3.
What's he like, Paul James, as a coach? Is he pretty calm? And we see him, he called that timeout early on in that second quarter. What's he like?
Yeah, I played with Paul. We've actually won a championship in Thames Valley together. And he's a fiery guy, but he wants to keep his team calm because they're not making that many mistakes. They're just missing open shots. Once they get those shots down, then they will be better. So I think Paul is going to be okay. He's not going to jump on them too much. Of course, he wants to match Milton Keynes' intensity. But besides that, I think he should say if we execute a little better, we match the intensity, they will be all right.
And over the last few games, Paul James's team, they've struggled in those fourth quarters. It's been tough for them. So what will he be telling them this time around?
I think he'll want to get it tied or close in the third quarter. He don't want to go into the fourth quarter with trying to come back from a big lead. But I think once they get close, I think he will be confident that his team can overcome that because they have won 2 out of 3 close games, and Milton Keynes has lost the only close game they've had recently.
Okay, let's turn our attentions to Worcester then, and it's going to be new times for them. I think we can join Mark now, who's going to tell us all about their new building, Mark.
Yeah, we heard earlier, Vicky, about the big plans that Milton Keynes have. Worcester themselves have new plans, hoping next year to move into a 2,000-seat arena on the University of Worcester campus. Now, they already have ties with Lithuania, educational ties, basketball ties, and now they're setting up ties with China as well. Of course, so much interest in the game there. They're hoping to maybe bring players over there and build a huge new development system for all their grassroots activity, for their second teams, and for Worcester Wolves' BBL team. Now, a huge, impressive new building there. With 2,000 people be able to come in every week. It could be a huge transformation for the club and a massive step forward for Worcester Wolves in the future.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mark. As you heard there, a massive development for Worcester Wolves, and the fact that, as we talked earlier, they can own their own building and go down there and play whenever they want.
Yeah, I think that's a great help for Paul. Any team, you want to have your own building. You want to be able to train when you want to. You want to develop your youth coming through the same system the way you want to, so they can all play the same way. That's what the big teams in Europe do, and you want to try to emulate that to get the same kind of success they've had. And all the international link that Paul's putting together, that's a really good sign for BBL basketball as well.
How often do these guys get together naturally anyway?
As a team, probably just during the season. You know, I mean, I guess they would play practice 3 or 4 times a week, depending on when they play their games. But for Milton Keynes, because they have their own arena, they can schedule different times, so they can go that extra one. And I'm sure Paul would like to be able to do that somewhere down the line.
Okay, let's just leave it there for a moment, and let's join Daniel and Rob to find out their thoughts of that first half.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Well, Rob, you've been poring over the stats there at halftime. What are the numbers that are leaping off the page at you?
3 for 15 from the three-point line for the Wolves. That has been a struggle. You look at Prezi Blue, 1 for 8 from the field. Right now, Tommy Freeman got going for a little bit, but 4 for 10. You look on the other side, I thought Gill came in and gave him some energy, 12 points. But Bolds has 14 points and 4 assists. But I like what Northern's given him. He's done a great job on the backboards with 8 rebounds.
You kind of think that surely they're not going to shoot that badly again in the second half. So only being 8 points down, it's no bad shakes for Paul James.
Yeah, they'll have some confidence because they did get some looks, but they have to be careful with the way they're struggling to bring the ball over half court. Milton Keynes has done a good job with that. I'm sure Coach James talked about that at halftime, trying to get the ball over midcourt quicker.
Well, we think the game's still very much in the balance here. Back to you, Vicky.
It certainly is, isn't it? It's certainly very much alive. It is 44-36 to the home side. Join us after the break for the second half of the MK Lions against the Worcester Wolves.
Movies Premiere HD, brought to you by Smart Viera from Panasonic.
I just saw my best friend's wife with another man.
How do you tell your best friend?
I saw it all, Geneva.
I'm gonna deny it. Then I'm gonna say you made a pass at me.
The worst of secrets.
Ronnie, where are you? Doing all different kinds of things now with all the nice people. Why do you sound like you're on medication?
The Dilemma starts Friday on Sky Movies Premiere HD. No one brings you movies like Sky Movies.
Here he comes. He's got into some good space here. But is he too early? He looks very exposed. Oh, a good move. And another. That's a great save. Oh, and here comes the support at last. The lad's done well. And don't they just know it? That calls for Carlsberg.
Carlsberg and Sky Sports, your weeknight reward.
Premier Banking from Barclays sponsors Sky Movies box office.
You stupid little runt. I can crush you any time I want.
I'm not gonna sleep with you.
See about that.
I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
We gotta hire a professional. Are you talking about a hitman? So my boss, who we're thinking about planning to kill, is dying in front of you and you saved his life? Well, that sounds bad when you say it like that.
Horrible Bosses on Sky Movies box office in HD, on TV, online and on demand.
At Comet, the Samsung laptop with 6 gig of memory is $379. And this LG 42-inch plasma TV is only $329. And these DeLonghi espresso makers are only £79 each. So visit our stores or go online. Come and play at Comet.
All Sky Movies 1 and 2 customers, you can now make an exclusive saving when you rent a movie from Sky Movies box office. Get more great movies for less.
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you.
Boss Orange, fragrance for women. Wear it with passion.
About to start.
Welcome back to the MK Arena. It is finally poised, this game, 44-36 to the home side. Let's go back courtside and join our commentary team of Dan Ratledge and Rob Paternostro.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Yes, Mark has given us an inside scoop. Said Paul James was talking about stopping Gill, limiting Bowles. He knows you're not going to stop Bowles, limiting Bowles. That was something we were talking about. They've got to keep an eye on Gill. He hit a couple of big threes.
Well, off the bench in only 12 minutes, he had 12 points, so he was very efficient. You don't want to get him comfortable beyond the arc. But if you're the Wolves, continue to run your half-court offense. They run some nice stuff. They just haven't been able to knock it down. And as they came back on the court, they look like a confident bunch, hoping that the different hoop on the other end will be a little kinder to them.
And defensively, do you think PJ will want to slow him down a bit, on pace for close to 90? That's probably too many points for them.
I think the best defense you can play a lot of times is good offense, and I think that's going to be important to run your sets, move the ball, not have so many misses so Milton Keynes can capitalize in transition.
Well, the two teams back out on court. They just got to wait for the clock to get to 0. The player's too keen. And the referee gives the ball, but actually the scoreboard hasn't reached 0. We haven't got through the full 15 minutes. There we go. There the horn goes to say halftime is over. And 10 minutes on the clock, and now we can get underway. The Wolves, who trailed the Lions by 8, will have the opening possession of this third period. Fernandez down low to Gordon going to work. Tough shot. And we were saying maybe they get a friendlier bounce. There was a friendly bounce.
Nice job. Good play out of the halftime. Went down to Gordon, who has been effective so far. That's his 14th point of the night.
He's the joint leading scorer with Demarius Bowles as Crawford goes to the basket. And I think Crawford almost, he heard the whistle, thought, I better shoot this, and he'll go to the line for the bonus.
Well, you can hear Coach New going, yes, Howard, because he likes that matchup when Crawford faces up on the bigger Kozlowskis, and Crawford was able to beat him with the dribble and draw to contact and finish.
Yeah, Crawford definitely winning the battle of foot speed against Kozlowskis. He doesn't convert the three-point play, though, and Richie Gordon pulls in the rebound. Josie playing close attention to Freeman, but he does get the ball. Stolen away by Bowles in the passing lane again. You won't catch him in the break. Gordon was up there, and it's tipped in by Northern. Well, Gordon couldn't catch him, but he tried to block the shot instead.
Good try from Gordon. He sized him up, and I thought Bowles was going to get it to go. But credit Daniel Northern, not giving up on the play, and finishes for the easy deuce.
That's out of bounds, and the Lions will get it back. Northern's 9th rebound on that tip. Pedrosa fires up for 3. That's a must-make shot, because if you shoot that early in an offense without passing the ball, your coach will go nuts if it doesn't go in. Prezi Blue for 3. Hits all string. And that will not help Pedrosa one bit there.
Well, that was a good sign for Prezi Blue there. Had his feet set, had a tough first half at 1 of 8, but he's a good shooter. Keeps shooting them and knocks it down and cut it to 7.
Josie. Crawford knocked away by Kozlowskis. Prezi Blue is up and running, and Prezi Blue misses the layups. It was almost like his legs went from underneath him. Thrown long to Northern. Northern with the high off. Wow. He gets a roll, and how did Milton Keynes come up with 2 points and Worcester didn't?
Oh, man, Prezi Blue wide open. Looks like his legs slipped, hit the underside of the backboard, and Northern capitalized with the floater at the other end.
Kozlowski's shot doesn't go. And Mike New was ready to call a timeout there, and a missed layup and a score at the other end. He said, no, we're okay.
A chance for the Wolves to cut it to 5. Now right back up to 9.
Crawford once again with the foot speed past Kozlowskis. And the Milton Keynes bench asking for a a basket count and foul, but that was, the whistle was a long way before he got there. And Zimnikas will check back in the hope that he can do a slightly better job than Kozlowskis. He just struggles with the foot speed.
Well, that's Crawford's game. You know, he's a big guy that can put it on the floor and face you up and come out of the break. It looks like that's what was talked about, getting Crawford opportunities to go one-on-one.
Good hands from Gordon to knock it loose. Pedrosa up in the air, gets it inside to Northern. Northern plowing over his man, and an offensive foul for Northern with, I think it was Freeman again, was it, taking the charge?
It was. Freeman the 3rd time tonight, and this is a good call. He just plows into him with his head down, and credit Freeman for not being afraid. He's not a big guy, and he's jumped in front of some bigger guys and been able to take the hit and to get the possession for the Wolves.
I think Mike New was just wondering whether the no charge zone there came into play, but I don't think he had both feet inside. Got to have both feet inside the little circle underneath there. That's out of bounds air ball. Freeman turns to the referee looking for a whistle, nothing doing, and the Lions will get the ball. Northern, Josie bounces it down low. Crawford with the spin, fires it up high. Northern was there for the follow, didn't need him. Fernandez bumps it, tries to get rid of the ball. Now Bolds on the fast break. Bolds driving to the hole and off the glass. And again, good job from Freeman to try and put him off, but this game's starting to run away from the Wolves here.
Well, the Wolves a little out of control on the offensive end, taking bad shots, and when you take bad shots, there's nobody better in the league than the Marius Bolds that going at the other end. And you like what Crawford did when he faced up and went to the basket, but he also goes down to the post, gets good position, and hits the jump hook. Great start for Milton Keynes here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it certainly has. They had an 8-point lead at the half. They now lead by 13, and well, what does Paul James do here? Does he need to change his defense? Is he trying to come up something offensively?
I think it's the offense, really. I think it's the wild shots. You saw Freeman with the wild air ball. Fernandez was out of control. And when that happens, Milton Keynes gets those opportunities to get out on the break. So good timeout from Coach James. Slow him down a little bit. Maybe run more of their offense. And I think maybe go inside to Gordon, because when he's gotten the ball inside, good things have happened.
Well, it's been a weekend of comebacks in the BBL. 2 of the games, Sheffield came back against Worcester from 13 down in the 4th. Glasgow, I think, were 13 down against Milton Keynes at one stage. You guys were 21 down in the 2nd half again. All right, you didn't win, but you tied the game. So, you know, 13 points in 17 minutes, still a lot of basketball to be played.
Certainly is. And, you know, the key thing for the Wolves is to get back in this thing and make Milton Keynes think about the last time they were on this floor when they did give away that lead. You even heard Northern reference it at halftime. So it is in their mind. If the Wolves can get back in it, they could have a good chance.
Freeman for 3, they needed that.
Nice call out of that timeout from James. He set the big picks with Watts and with Zemiskas, and Freeman came around and knocked down the long-range bomb.
Only the 4th three-pointer in 16 attempts for the Worcester Wolves. Travel, is it? No, foul on the floor. Referees are going to talk over whether it should count as a basket. I thought he took an extra step after the shot, before the shot. And that's, I think, what Roger Harrison on the near side said. Here's the foul there, but then he takes an extra step, so you can't give the basket because it'd be a travel.
He did blow the whistle, it looked like, before the travel. You know, 2 big guys, Gordon and Northern, banging down there. And the referee ruled that that was a little too much contact from Gordon. But it's been a nice matchup tonight between 2 new players in the BBL.
Pedrosa gets it into Bowles. Bowles is double teamed, trapped in the corner. Smart play from Bowles, threw it off the legs of Zimnikas, out of bounds, and it will be a Milton Keynes ball. And Damaris Bowles just checked with the kids behind him there because it hit them.
Yeah, he was worried about the kids, but he wasn't worried about Zemeckis the way he fired it off his leg.
Pedrosa dumping it off. It will be a shot clock violation if Worcester don't come up with it. Worcester do come up with it. They almost turn it over, though.
Very careless, lazy passing. Coach James here upset at the way the Wolves are passing the ball around. They got to take better care of the basketball.
Freeman.
Nice.
Bounced into Gordon, and that's a little lean forward by Daniel Northern. It's one of those with the big guys. They always got their arms straight up after the whistle. It's just what happens before the whistle is blown.
Nice job by Freeman. Got the correct angle to make the interior pass. A lot of times players don't get the proper angle, but he dribbled over to the wing, so he had that angle and found Gordon inside. And I think that Gordon is the guy to go to right now. Milton Keynes look like they've had some trouble with him down in the post, so maybe the Wolves can ride him for a bit.
Well, he makes both of those foul shots, and the lead is back down to 8. Always important to keep it in single figures at this sort of stage of the game, and Gordon almost comes up with a steal. He does steal it behind the back, and unfortunately for him, he'd gained control, so it reset the shot clock. Lions have time, but they don't need it because Damaris Bowles gets the shot up quick.
Shake and bake. When you're a guy that can go by people and also pull up and hit the jumper, you are so dangerous to defend.
Freeman for 3, hits all string.
Nice job by Gordon, though. He made a cross-court pass and found Freeman. Oh!
That's a goaltend on the way down from Richie as he got up high to throw it away. Good hustle, but unfortunately just on the way down.
Good move from Josie. And the thing about Milton Keynes is you can't celebrate if you score. If you score against Milton Keynes, don't even high-five anybody. Just get yourself back to the paint and protect it because they're so quick in transition.
Well, Paul James just wandered over behind us to see the replay on that, and then wry-eyed. I don't think he agreed with the official on that. Freeman throwing it that. Now, I think if you're 10, 11 points up, you can throw that pass. When you're 9 down, maybe not.
Well, especially when the last, 5 minutes or so, you've turned the basketball over like that. I thought Freeman had an opportunity to shoot the ball, but he tries the circus over the head pass, and he throws it in the 6th row.
Gill. Bowles looking to penetrate, dumps
Nice.
off. Oh, what a play from Northern off the assist from Bowles.
Oh, great job from Bowles. He scored last time down, but this time he came in and he found the big man Northern, who high rises up for the throwdown. He's had a nice game tonight, and here you see Bowles, who can go right or left. That's why he's hard to defend. He goes left there, and Northern makes no secret about what he wants to do with that as he throws it down.
And while we were looking at that replay, an offensive foul was called for an illegal screen on Zimnikas. So it gives Milton Keynes the ball back. That will be an offensive foul the other way as Bowles runs over, once again, that man Freeman. That's about the 4th charge he's taken.
Well, anyone who's watching this game tonight on Sky Sports and watching, and is going to any coaches around the league or any players around the league, you have to be conscious of Freeman because he does step in and draws the charges so well. That was a good job by him, moving his feet, absorbing the contact. And the foul was on Bowles.
Because Lauskas checks back into the game and Zimnikas sits down. The Lions fans really unhappy on that last call. They were going nuts, but shouting at Freeman. All Freeman's doing is playing a bit of defense there.
I think that was, if the board is correct, I think that was number 4 on Bowles, which is interesting because he fouled out of the game the other night against Glasgow. It is his 4th. He fouled out of the game the other night against Glasgow, and Milton Keynes were not the same team when he was off the court. So let's see how they adjust now with Bowles off the floor.
Gordon drives to the hole, off the glass, doesn't quite go. Northern fighting after it, Northern coming up with it.
Give me that.
Stolen away by Prezi Blue. Dumps off to Gordon. Gordon, oh, great recovery from Stefan Gill, knocks it away, ends up in the crowd. Good hustle back. But in all of that, Gordon has hurt himself. Gill gets back, slaps it away, and you can see him grabbing his shoulder, I think it was, straight away.
Well, Gill gave up the ball and hustled back, and you don't like to see that because right away he reached for the shoulder, and that's got to cause the Wolves a lot of panic because you take a guy like that off the floor and they're a whole different team.
Well, there was a warning there from the official. I assume it was for Gordon. It was any more talk and it'll be a technical foul. He'd be the logical one, as he was the one who was not happy that he thought he got fouled. Kozlowski's off the mark. Gordon with the rebound, gets the head fake, goes up. That will be just a check. It didn't go in, but it looked like it might have been a goaltend. It was a goaltend. And the referees will count the basket, therefore, and he will go to the line for the bonus. Just hit the backboard before it was blocked.
Well, you wondered if the shoulder was okay. Hey, it is okay, because he's underneath the basket, banging. We don't see it, but he got the offensive rebound and went up strong for the finish and the foul.
So Gordon then at the line for a three-point play.
And if the board is correct again, Daniel, we're looking at 4 fouls on Daniel Northern right now.
Well, it's all happening here as Gill pulls up from 17 feet. That one has a think, but eventually does drop in for Milton Keynes. And it is the 4th foul on Northern as well. So Northern and Bolds both in foul trouble with still 13 minutes to go. Prezi Blue steps back off the ring, rebound Gordon. Prezi Blue fakes at it. Watts lets it go from behind the arc and hits.
And that's what Watts can do, a big man that can shoot the 3. And dangerous times for Milton Keynes right now with Northern on the floor with 4 fouls in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Josie is on the subs bench ready to check in, but until there's a break in play, they can't take him out. Pedroza to start for 3, and he's another big guy who likes a 3-point shot when he sees one. That doesn't go.
If you're Coach James right now, I mean, Josie's coming in for Sturt. Looks like Coach New is leaving Northern on the floor. And you would think part of the strategy here would be to attack Northern, because Milton Keynes with Northern off the floor is not the same team. So usually when a guy picks up his 4th foul in the 3rd quarter, he goes to the bench. But Coach New right now switches to the zone defense to protect Northern.
Northern's the game's leading rebounder. Gordon has it, but doesn't go at it. Watts fires up for another 3. That one's off the mark, and there's rebound number 11 for Daniel Northern. Oh, through the hands of Josie, and Prezi Blue is first to it. Prezi Blue gets it round. Kozlowskis for 3. String music for the big Lithuanian. And all the momentum right now is with the Wolves.
Nice play from Prezi Blue. He chased down the loose ball, pushed it up the floor, and found the big Lithuanian who strokes the 3. And all of a sudden, with Bolds on the bench with 4 fouls and Northern with 4 fouls, it's a 4-point game.
And it really is one of those things. Coach Mike New has had to call a timeout. How do you manage a game like this with arguably your 2 leading players in this game in foul trouble?
Well, it's a little dangerous to have Northern, especially a big guy on the floor, because a lot of times they can pick out fouls just helping out in the back line. But he has to pay attention to the score, and as soon as this thing gets out of control, if the Wolves were able to come back and take the lead, you would think he would go to Bolds. But Bolds and Northern both have to be smart. When you have 4 fouls, you have to be careful, because you don't want to get that 5th. And, it's got to be in their minds right now after the game against Glasgow, where Bolds had the foul trouble and fouled out. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of strategy they use.
Well, they are two guys who do gamble a little bit. We talked about it earlier, and it really is a problem for them here with the last 12 minutes of these games. Mark is down behind the bench there, and he can tell us what they've been talking about in that timeout.
Well, we heard in the last timeout Paul James saying to his team to play their own game and not take the game in Milton Keynes' pace. Now it's Michael New saying to his team, don't panic, use the mismatches, and just calm down. Things are still going okay.
Well, he seems pretty calm from that, therefore, Mike New. But I'm sure underneath it all, he will be worried about the foul trouble. Northern going to work inside. Did he walk with it? Yes, he did.
And Roger Harrison making the call over here along with about 15 Wolves on the sidelines.
Yeah, Roger turns around and goes, I can make a call on my own. I'm okay.
And Coach New brings Adrian Sturt in the game for Northern. So now both Northern and Bolds on the bench with 4 fouls.
Well, there they are. And how long can they ride without those two guys out on the court? Backdoor to Gordon. Oh, good finish as well from Gordon off the assist from Prezi Blue.
Great set play from the Wolves. Blue with the good pass, and Gordon, it wasn't going to be a dunk, but good job with the finish, and they're down by 2.
Pedrosa driving through, and Jones is right next to him, and the referee says too much, and Jones has been called for a foul.
I thought he played pretty good defense there. Jones did a good job of containing the dribble, but Pedrosa not really dangerous driving. He's more of a shooter. You don't even want to commit the foul and give him an opportunity to go to the line.
Well, just a slight delay for a second because the scoreboard seems to have gone down in the place. It is in the, it is, there you can see, scoreboard and clock has gone. It is on the actual display, so they know quite, oh, it's starting to come back there. Now says the time back up, and I think we can go. They never lost it off the display, it was just off the visual unit.
You know your scoreboards, don't you, Daniel? The visual unit, I like that.
Pedrosa makes the first.
See, that's a bad foul. And a lot of times, you know, you have a team on the ropes. The last thing you want to do there is put Pedrosa on the line, who really was going nowhere. And he gets a chance, he's a good foul shooter, to put them back ahead by 4.
Little full court pressure from the lines, which did cause the Wolves problems in the first half and almost causes them a problem there, but Prezi Blue somehow hung on. Watts to Prezi Blue. Penetrates and then steps back, and there's a foul on Gill.
Well, it's interesting. Prezi Blue made the pass to Watts out on the three-point line, and he didn't take the 3. And Coach James jumped out of his seat to yell, "Shoot the ball!" to Watts. And Watts missed one bad recently, but you like that out of a coach. You know, when you're a player and the coach, even though you maybe missed the last 3, he has the confidence in you to shoot the ball.
First one is good from Prezi Blue. I mean, that is Watts' game. That kick to him, and he gets his shot up so quick. He's tall as well. It's very hard to defend against.
Yeah, I guess Coach James is saying, hey, Dave, if you're not going to take that shot, then why are you out there? We have seen Watts in games before where he has gone off 7, 8 threes. So if he gets a chance, he should let it fly.
That almost sounded like speaking from experience. Did he do that against you last year?
I think he did get hot at one point.
I think he did as well.
But I'm sure we weren't the only one.
No. Prezi Blue inside. There's a foul on the rebound. I think Crawford just pulled. Wow. Yeah, it is. Crawford just pulled Gordon to the ground. And, well, this is a no-need. Watch, 55 there, going after the ball. Oh, caught round the throat by Crawford.
How's your neck? Good job, though, by Gordon. A lot of times on those foul shots, you guys don't really aggressively go in for the rebound. They accept the box out. But I've really been impressed from Gordon. He doesn't accept being boxed out, and he has a lot to offer.
But what a terrible foul to give away, because he wasn't even going to get the rebound. It went in. And suddenly, with 4 free throws in a row off nothing, the game is tied at 64.
Well, the question is, when do you go to Bolds? Obviously, Milton Keynes is not the same team without him. Do you try to bring him in to start the 4th quarter? Tough call for Coach New.
I don't think we'll see him before the start, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him at the start. Crawford inside, blocked by Gordon. It's lobbed out to Prezi Blue. Prezi Blue to Gordon. Back to Prezi Blue and Gordon again. Kozlauskas for 3. Hey, it's the big fella punches the air as the Wolves go in front.
Oh, he's fired up. It's unorthodox, that three, but it knocks it down. And good job by the Wolves to move the basketball and give themselves the lead.
To the hole goes Josie. He's fouled, and he'll go for an old-fashioned three-pointer with a bonus from the line.
I'd like to see that one again. Coach James on the sideline not liking that, has the momentum. Josie puts his head down, as he's done tonight, and bulled his way to the basket. Give him credit in a time where Milton Keynes does not have many answers with Bolds and Northern on the bench. And Josie steps up and has a chance to tie it with the free throw.
Gordon brings it forward. Back to Jones. Jones drives in. Jones kicks it out. Watts for three. Got hit and scores! A 4-point play opportunity for Watts. And you said on the last one, Coach James said, why didn't you shoot it? This time he did, and has the chance of a bonus point.
Well, great kick out, but Coach James is, he's been here before. He knows what Watts can do, and good job there by Coach James to give him the confidence to let that one go. And that was one where he had guys all over him, but Watts, after his coach told him to shoot it, said, okay, why not? And knocked it down.
And he converts the 4-point play, and that's the difference between the teams here. It's the going to the final offense of this third quarter. Lions looking to tick it down. All glance up at the clock. They see now it's down to 10. Fired up in the corner. Josie for three. What a shot. Still chance, though, for the Wolves to go the other way. Prezi Blue running. Prezi Blue to the hole. He's fouled. The dunk won't count, but he will go to the line to shoot, too. They never stop the ball.
Yeah, he was able to take the ball all the way up the floor here. Crawford comes over and nudges him with the body.
And the thing is, he wasn't actually changing the shot in the foul. So it's 0.9 of a second left, and Prezi Blue will go to the line for two.
Well, Josie on the other end hit the three from the corner. That was 6 straight from him. Like I said, in a time where Milton Keynes was wondering where they were going to go. Well, up steps Carl Josie to give him that boost, but Blue draws the foul, and he's a good free throw shooter. Prezi Blue misses the first.
And it rattles in for Prezi Blue. It's a catch and shoot job. Pedrosa catches, shoots, and hits on the buzzer. Referee turns around and says that was good. What a shot to end the third quarter by Pedrosa. A three on the buzzer. Absolutely spectacular finish to the quarter. Fourth quarter action ahead when we return.
I had an amazing time tonight.
Did you really?
Yes, really. I can't wait to see you again. How about we go for lunch on Saturday?
Bit busy.
A nice Sunday roast.
But I'm free any other time.
Okay, how about drinks on Monday night?
Apart from the Monday.
Unmissable action in association with Ford. Sky Sports, your home of football.
Here they come. It's been a long, hard innings, but surely the end's in sight. A steady approach. Oh, seems to be a bit of confusion. Well, he's deep in the crease there, but it looks like it's paid off. That calls for a Carlsberg.
Carlsberg and Sky Sports, your weeknight reward.
To get exclusive Meerkat toy, buy car, van, home or pet insurance, so compare the market.com. Simples.
Gucci Guilty Intense, the new fragrances for him.
And for her.
Welcome back to Milton Keynes, where we have ourselves a ball game. It looked for a while like the Lions were going to run away with it, but foul trouble and some great play from the Wolves pulled them back in, and then this guy hits a tremendous three, Pedrosa on the buzzer, to give Lions a 1-point lead here at the start of the fourth. Spin from Crawford misses everything. It's out by Kozlauskas, and he is fouled. And that will be the third personal foul against Josie. Now, here's another look. Now, watch him as he lets it go over his shoulder. He had 0.9 of a second.
That was
just
a great
brilliant
play. I loved how he let it bounce and threw it up off the glass. Exciting game here in Milton Keynes.
Lob down to Gordon. Gordon with a head fake. Now the defense all over him. Out to Watts. Prezi Blue fires up for three off the back of the ring and over the top. It's still live, it didn't hit anything. And it bounces into Sturt's hands. Sturt gets it to Gill. Gill drives in, fires up off the glass for two.
Well, Gordon came over there, but Gill is great at floating the ball high off the glass, going right, good move, and gets it to go.
Jones. Oh, good dump inside to Gordon, but he wasn't expecting it. Josie broke it up, and it looked like a good pass from Kozlauskas, but his teammate wasn't really ready for it, probably should have shot.
Well, when you're 6 feet away and wide open, nobody expects you to pass the ball. But I think that if Gordon looks back on that, he will think that that's 2-point miss. And now Coach James brings Freeman back in the game, who had a long rest in that third quarter.
Kozlauskas off the glass, gets his own rebound, but the ball bobbles loose, and Pedrosa. Gill through the lane up high, and there's a whistle on the play. It's an offensive foul called against Stefan Gill.
And guess who stepped in to take the charge? Now, he may have been in that restricted area, but Tommy Freeman has a knack of drawing charges.
I think his right foot was actually outside the circle. As I said, you got to have both feet inside the circle.
Great play by Freeman again to get the possession.
And here's Freeman at the other end for three off the back of the ring. Watts fighting for it. Watts getting it. Watts with the reverse lane, tipped up in the air by Sturt. He eventually comes down with it. Lions looking to push. Josie. Pedrosa. Josie, 2 minutes gone in the fourth. Still no Northern or Bolts, who are both on the bench in foul trouble for the Lions, but they do lead by 3. Crawford. Crawford off the glass, rebound, thrown up by Josie, tipped in by Sturt.
Well, nice job from Josie. He probably won't get the deuce, but it's his aggressiveness that got the ball to the basket.
Gordon down low, rebound Joseph again. And the Lions are doing okay here with their 2 stars on the bench. They lead by 5.
Well, Wolves have to look at this as maybe a missed opportunity with them on the bench and not being able to convert.
Crawford drives in out to Pedrosa, and he hits, and the lead is back out to 7.
Hey, who needs Bolds? How about Pedrosa? How about Stern? How about Josie? The secondary players tonight coming up big for Milton Keynes.
Well, they may not need to bring them back the way they're going. Gordon. Prezi Blue jumps down to Gordon with the throwdown.
Oh, nice play. They opened out that side, and Prezi Blue, the intelligent player that he is, found Gordon, and Gordon throws one down.
Sturt hands back over to Pedrosa, fires up from way behind the ball string, and he's feeling it, Nuno Pedrosa.
Wow, he hits one from 45 off the window. Then he hits the mid-range. Now he says, why not? And you have to give these guys credit, because they've heard all along about how it's the Demarius Bolds show. Well, he's on the bench now, and these guys are stepping up.
Well, Bolds and Northern have just got up. There's an offensive foul that will get Milton Keynes the ball back. Gill there taking the stand. Foul is on Prezi Blue, and now is the time where Bolds and Northern check back into the game. And it's Pedrosa and Crawford. No, it isn't Pedrosa. It's Josie who sits down.
And Josie's giving him some good minutes tonight. And as I saw Pedrosa going off the floor, and Pedrosa had a look on his face like, no, 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 I'm feeling it right now. But Coach James has to feel a little disappointed because now Milton Keynes had arguably their 2 best players on the bench, but Milton Keynes was able to extend that lead to an 8-point lead.
Well, that's the thing. You think about it. The last shot, sorry, of the third quarter, they were 2 points up at that stage, and then he hits this big 3 from miles out, and suddenly started the quarter. They keep on rolling. Bowles to start. Off the back of the ring and the stanchion too, so that will be a Wolves ball.
Will be interesting to see how much Demarius Bowles attacks the basket, because he does attack it with aggressiveness, and with Freeman back there drawing those charges, that, you know, a lot of times you say, I have 4, well, I'm not going to reach in, I'm not going to give up, but the offensive foul is the one that sometimes does you in.
Yeah. Prezi Blue gets it back, shot clock into single figures. Kozlauskas inside, throws it up, oh, and a good finish by Gordon.
Kozlauskas didn't panic there, and we've seen those two pass the ball very well to each other tonight. Good play, and Gordon finishes with the easy 2.
Stowe fires up for 3 off the back of the ring, and rebound is hauled in by Freeman. Ooh, Prezi Blue, nice little shake and bake. Now he fires up for 3, doesn't quite go. Tipped by Bolt almost into his own basket. Loose ball comes out to Gill, beats his man. Has Kozlauskas in front, pulls up from the elbow. It's short, and Kozlauskas pulls in the rebound. Oh, great defense from Gill to knock it loose. It's out of bounds, and it will be, I think it's a Milton Keynes ball. Yes, eventually the referee points up court.
Well, these two guys, Gill and Prezi Blue, have been going at it tonight. Both have picked each other's pocket, and that time Gill got into him defensively and was able to cause the turnover.
Driving to the basket is Pedrosa, and he's called. He draws the foul.
Well, Pedrosa struggled a little bit this year with his offense. He's had some games where he's had a rough go, but tonight he looks more confident. Even from the beginning of the game, he was able to step into a 3, but ever since he hit that 45-foot bank shot at the end of the third quarter, it looks to me like he is being more aggressive, and Milton Keynes is benefiting from that.
That was the 4th personal foul on Tommy Freeman, and Pedrosa, who's really just been sensational over the last 10 minutes for Milton Keynes, extends the lead for 8 to 83-76. Fernandez. Prezi Blue.
Zone defense for Milton Keynes.
Kozlauskas. Freeman drives through. It's out to Kozlauskas. Big shot for 3. Oh, and he hits it!
Wow.
What an unbelievable shot from Kozlauskas.
And it looked like he may have gotten fouled on that as well. He has that awkward-looking shot, but he is deadly from out there.
He sort of moves into it, so which is where it gives the impression he might be fouled. I'm not sure it'd be called, though. Bowles. Gill for 3! Replies with a triple to stretch the lead back out to 8.
Gill now Bowles now more of the playmaker. Dribbled the clock down and found Gill, and Wolves play pretty good defense, but that's what Gill can do.
Foul called, and it's on Sturr. Just thought for a second Northern was somewhere in the vicinity, and you just want to check. It's only the 3rd on Sturr.
Well, that time Prezi Blue recognized that he had the bigger Sturr on him, forced the contact, got the benefit of the whistle. Now, I like what Prezi Blue has done this year. He's had a really solid year. He's made big plays in big games. The Connecticut native, Brian McMahon High School, Norwalk, Connecticut. as I jinx him on the foul line with the reference, but here's a guy who started out in the lower leagues in England when he first came over and has worked hard to become a very good player in the BBL.
Not like you to pick out the Connecticut boy there, Rob?
Oh, we have to. Good basketball in Connecticut.
Pedroso. Bowles. Knocked loose by Freeman. Gill gets it back. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Bowles with the head fake. Drives inside. All the way to the hole. Flips it up. Not quite tipped. Doesn't go either. Rebound by Northern. Fighting for it. He missed. Oh, no, it does drop in.
Well, that was a good job by Crawford and Northern there. And that's what Milton Keynes does. They're tough on the offensive glass.
Watts for three doesn't go. Rebound Pedrosa. And Milton Keynes look like they might have weathered the storm here. And that is a foul. Milton Keynes wanting a basket for that. It looked like a block, so it won't be called. Foul is on Prezi Blue. The foul was on the floor, so it will be the third foul on Prezi Blue and an end-line possession.
And that was a quick move by Gill. He's right in front of us over here. Sorry, right in front of us over here. And he made that quick crossover to get to the basket.
Bowles inside to Crawford. Crawford spins, fires it up, and rattles in. Kozlauskas again doesn't go. Rebound Bowles. Bowles. Offensive foul is on Northern. That's his fifth. He's done, and you said it's the offensive foul that usually gets you in the end.
Yeah, sometimes you forget about being too aggressive on the offensive, and I think it was a good call from here. It looked like he put the arm up to clear out the defender, and there's Freeman again, who does a good job of selling it to the referee. But once you put that arm up around the neck, the referees will get it for you.
But his team lead by 11, so they should have enough, you would think. Prezi Blue is blocked by Sturt. Here comes Bowles on the break. Watts running back. Bowles goes right by him, and that lead is 13.
What a block from Sturt. The block sets up the break, and nobody better on the break than Bowles as he slices for two. And you have to think right now, Milton Keynes is in great shape. They should be able to see this one home.
Rebound Kozlauskas. Sturt going after another block is called for the foul, and it will be 2 free throws. I think Paul James wants a timeout, does he? He certainly looked like he was going to signal one, and then but it's not been called, so he must have waved it off after his team got the offensive rebound there.
Well, the last few possessions for the Wolves have been forced threes that haven't gone down, haven't really got the ball inside. Living and dying on the three-point line a lot of times will punish you.
Kozlauskas makes them both. Just over 2 to play.
Wolves right now 11 for 32 from the three-point line.
32 is a lot to be taken. I think Paul James asked for a timeout again and then cancelled it. The referee's just checking to see whether he is, as the foul was called. And now they look to the table. That was the 4th foul. I think it was a Kozlauskas. Not over the limit, so it will be a sideline ball, which Bowles wants to inbound to Pedrosa. Pedrosa drives.
Nice.
Dumps off. Jab down! And the foul. Crawford went up high, through the contact, and absolutely rammed it home.
Oh, have we seen some dunks tonight? But credit Pedrosa. The drive right on time, and Crawford throws it down. He said, hey, Richie Gordon, I've seen you dunk a couple times. How about that? As he hammers it down. And the emotion on the Milton Keynes Lions is here to see. A good performance from them tonight, coming off that tough loss.
And a timeout now has been called by Paul James and the Worcester Wolves with 1:52 to go. They trail by 13. It's a long way back from here.
It is, and right now, if you're Milton Keynes, what you want to do when you get the basketball is run the full 24 off the shot clock, because if you can do that, they're going to have to end up fouling you, and you'll have to be able to make your free throws. There should be no chance right now, if they're smart, that they could lose this game. Obviously, they'll have to make a couple free throws, but it's not, you don't want to rush anything. You want to take as much time as possible.
Well, I mean, you could almost argue that 95 is enough points, but you wouldn't want to take that risk. And yeah, as you say, they will have to make some free throws, as Paul James found to his cost at the weekend. If you miss free throws late in a game, it can let the other team right back into it.
Well, second road game here that the Wolves look like they may come up short on, but that's what this league is all about. It's very difficult. You talk to any coach, very difficult to win on the road. So when you get those road wins, you feel very fortunate because, you know, everyone seems to play better at home, and Milton Keynes for sure. When they play in here, they really play well, and tonight they've done it from inside and from outside.
Oh, Crawford gets his own rebound and lays it in. A 4-point play, if you like.
Well, hey, I'll miss the free throw. I want a couple more points. Why not?
Oh, good hands from Sturt to knock it loose, and they can just run some of the clock here. Oh no, Pedrosa's going to fire up for three. Didn't need that. Tip from Bowles doesn't go. Out of bounds lines ball. They just need to run the clock now.
Yeah, that's, you know, that's a bad play from Pedrosa there, and he patted himself, and he's holding his hand up to his team, because all you need to do there is wait to get fouled, and he takes the three, but lucky Milton Keynes gets the ball back.
Bowles. Crawford. Out to Gill for three. Doesn't go. Another offensive rebound, no. Prezi Blue comes down with it. Prezi Blue, back to Kozlauskas. This has to go. It doesn't go. Gill will let it run out of bounds. Clock very much the friend of Milton Keynes, although he could have kept it in and let the clock keep running. Gill, skip round to Pedrosa.
Again, we talked about Milton Keynes defensively, what they need to do, and, you know, giving up 97 points a game is not going to win you a lot of basketball games. But I thought early and often they played good defense tonight.
Kozlauskas is just fouled out of the game.
82 points, and Kozlauskas had a good game. He hit some threes.
And we got subs all around. This one is in the books, folks. You can tell when the subs come out for the final minute. Everybody getting out and getting their taste of the action.
Daniel Belgrave, a young player, checking into the game for the Wolves. Milton Keynes sending some players in now.
Cameron Bernard getting his first taste of the action. Shaw was on in the first half. Pedrosa makes the first. Pedrosa with the second attempt. And he's going to get a break in the first time in the game for Ishmael Fontaine.
And a standing ovation for Nuno Pedrosa, and I have him down for 20 points. We'll have to see the official stats, but no matter what they were, he was very effective tonight, especially when Bowles went to the bench. He stepped up.
He came up with some big points, the three at the end of the third, and then early in the fourth, as Fontaine is called for the foul. And that will be 2 free throws.
Belgrave will go to the line. Courtney Van Beest into the game as well for the Wolves, made a nice pass. But Milton Keynes stepped up when they had to tonight, especially with the 2 stars on the bench. And as a coach, you love to see that. You love to see, you know, the other guys make the plays when you need them.
Both of those off the mark, and really Milton Keynes are just going to run this clock down as much as they can, and no need for Worcester to foul because there are no 17-point shots in basketball, and that's what they need. Bowles fakes at the 3. Shot clock gets low, dumped off, broken up. Watts has it. Kicked out long. And Beast gets it, and he travels with it, so Milton Keynes will get it back. And that should pretty much do it, folks. Milton Keynes will inbound the ball, and they will run down these last 21 seconds. And really, it was the guys you weren't expecting. We came here expecting Bolds and Northern, but it was the likes of Josie and Pedroso, who, when the game was on the line, stepped up when their team needed them.
They certainly did. And Fontaine shaking and baking at the top. They called the play for him. He turns it over.
Bolds trying to keep it in bounds. He does. And the final horn will go. What a great victory for the Milton Keynes Lions. And really the start to the fourth quarter was the difference.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, when we were sitting over here saying, when is he going to bring Bolds back in? When is he going to bring Northern back in? But the other guy said, take your time, Coach New. We can do it out there. So a good win for Milton Keynes and a good team win for him because a lot of guys contributed.
Excellent victory for the Lions. They've beaten the Worcester Wolves 99 points to 82. We'll be right back with reaction after this.
Lapsang Soo Chong? It's posh tea. But why are you selling it? We're appealing to a wider clientele. You want to try something off our exclusive new menu?
Just a takeaway tea, please, Carol.
How about a lovely little Lapsang Soo Chong?
Steady on, saucy.
What about a Lapsang Soo Chong?
No, thanks.
Why not?
Just a takeaway tea, please, Carol.
You want to try a Lapsang Soo Chong? I'd rather eat my own sick. Oh, try a Lapsang Soo Chong. But he just wants a tea.
To take away, please, Carol.
The Cafe, Wednesday at 9 on Sky One HD.
Skylanders, the amazing new video game.
Here they come.
Where toys come to life.
Skylanders, to battle.
Boom! It's on, brother! Here I come! Boom! When I get in there, I'm gonna... shoot! A Raptor? I can't help it, I just...
This Christmas, start your adventure on Wii with the Skylanders Starter Pack. Out now.
Hey, where you guys going?
Don't know.
Hop on. Let's roll the dice. Now here in New Orleans, we go where we end up, and we do what we end up doing. Looks like we're here, wherever he is. Y'all enjoy the local spirit now. Who's up next? Come on, Grandma.
Welcome back to the MK Arena. What a night for the MK Lions as they ran out winners 99-82 to the Wolves. It was a fantastic victory in the end. Rob Padnostro, you were commentating. Nigel, you were watching that game. First to you, Nigel. What did you make of it?
I thought it was a great game for MK Lions. I thought it was great advertisement for the way they want to play. They rebounded the ball really well, and also they ran the floor very well, and they got a lot of easy transition buckets. And also, I thought it was a great effort on the bench and the fringe players, you know what I'm saying? They came in and they did what they had to do. Pedroso, you know, didn't get that many points. Adrian Stewart with his rebounding, where he blocks a couple shots near the end, and Stephon Gill stepping up, like Rob said. They always play well when Stephon shoots it well.
We didn't expect this, did we, Rob? Really going on form. We expected the Wolves.
Well, I mean, you know, like I said in the broadcast, all BBL coaches will tell you it's very difficult to win on the road. And this is a team here that plays very well at home. And, you know, tonight the Wolves fought back and made it a game, but Milton Keynes had a little too much. I thought Pedroso's shot at the end of the third quarter was huge. It gave them the momentum, and then he came out with confidence with Bolds and Northern on the bench. So, all in all, a good game and a good win for Milton Keynes.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see that Pedroso shot in a minute. Let's go and join Mike Woods now. He's with a very happy Mike New.
Mike, in that third quarter, they were on a 13-2 run. You had two starters in the bench in foul trouble, yet you pulled it off.
Yeah, the guys in the bench, particularly Carl Josie, came through big. I like the way Nuno and Stephon controlled our tempo at that time. But Worcester is a good team. They haven't won 9 out of their last 10 games for no reason, and we knew they had a couple of more push-ins left in them. Luckily, we were able to sustain that push until we were able to get our big guns back in to finish off the game.
20 points for Nuno Pedroso, 20 for Demarius Bolds, but a team effort, I guess, the difference tonight.
Absolutely. Well, like I said before, we haven't had very many problems putting the ball in the basket. It's just been our defense on the other end. We almost reached our goal of 80 points. That's our team goal. The whole team's 80 points or less, and they scored 82. So we're right there or thereabouts. Now we just have to be consistent in our defensive play every night out.
The kind of win that you take some confidence from for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I take some confidence in all the guys. Demarius is super. Dan has been very consistent. Happy to see Howard Crawford have a good game, but especially Nuno Pedroso, who we've been waiting to break out, and hopefully this is his breakout game.
Right. Tremendous result, tremendous performance tonight. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Mike spoke about Nuno Pedroso there. Was he the difference, do you think, tonight for the MK Lions?
I think so. I think his confidence, the way he stepped up, especially when the two guys were on the bench and he was willing to take the big shot. Sometimes he turned down those looks. And also, I thought he ran the offense really well. And when he penetrated and kicked it for Daniel for a dunk, I thought all those are little sparks that he did. He did a few sparks. And, of course, the three-point shot at the end of the third quarter, that was another time.
Let's take a look at some of the action. Then this is Milton Keynes in action here, Rob. What did you make of them this evening? They were spot on at times.
Yeah, well, Bolds in transition is tough. He has the ability to slice and dice to the basket, goes left, goes right. And then the big guys, when they got the ball down low tonight, both Crawford and Northern, they finished with authority. And this was the play we talked about. Pedroso with the bank shot, and it gave the crowd a lift, gave him a lift, and Milton Keynes took over from there.
Yeah, you got to call bank on that one, too.
That won't have given Wolves a lift at all. And, of course, the fact that they've had back-to-back defeats now as well for Wolves, they'll be smarting from that tonight, won't they? And they'll need to turn things around.
Yeah, I think, speaking with Coach James before the game, he talked about how difficult the loss was to Sheffield the other night. But, there's no shame in coming on the road and getting beat. I think that, they'll come back. I was impressed with Gordon tonight. I thought he was a really good player, Richie Gordon. I thought he has a ton of ability on both ends of the floor. And I also liked, the big Lithuanian and Tommy Freeman here drawing charges. So I think they'll be fine. They'll have to, look at this game and try to improve. And, they'll come back and be okay.
What did you make of them tonight? Obviously, they're your opponents, really, but they did themselves proud, you think?
Yeah, I think they did. I thought they missed a few shots, and the fact of the matter, they just got outshot tonight. Mike said they played a lot of defense, and they did. Milton Keynes played hard, but I thought they missed a bunch of open shots that they should have normally scored. So I think Paul would be all right with that. But I thought it was the effort and determination of Milton Keynes today. They really wanted this game, and they wanted to make a statement that maybe they're not what their records say they are. So I think that's what they went for.
OK, let's find out what Paul James, in fact, made of the game. He's with Mark Woods now.
Paul, disappointment tonight. You were looking so strong in the third quarter and it just fell away.
Yeah, it did. I think we ran out a little bit of steam, but we weren't very smart when we came back. We got the points back and had a couple of really dumb plays defensively and gave them back the momentum.
Talked during the game about playing at their pace. Your guys tonight just didn't seem to execute when it mattered.
No, we didn't. We were terrible. We were terrible. Certainly, played into their hands, really, and, we can't play at that pace. And certainly we did a poor job in executing on offense. We didn't show too much composure and really a terrible night.
Next week on Sky Sports, we'll see you against Guildford Heat, your old team, and it's important to bounce back straight away without 3 straight defeats.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's one thing that we really don't want to do. So, we've got to get back to training this week, and we've got a few things that we need to work on, and hopefully we'll be better next week.
Commiserations, Paul.
Thank you.
He wasn't happy, was he? This will probably be why. Let's take a look at the league table tonight. This is how it stands. Wolves, they're still in 4th, but it's a good win for MK Lions, moving them up the table. I mean, last season, MK Lions, they finished around about 10th, I think, you find. Can they expect more from that this season, do you think?
Yeah, that team is built to be a playoff team. That's how it's built. And if everyone comes to play like they did tonight, and you can see the caliber of talent they have, they can be a playoff team. So that team is not built to be a bottom team or not make the playoffs. So I expect them to play up to their potential from now on.
Final thoughts from you then. Wolves host Tigers on Saturday. So many of these games are going right to the wires. It's going to be a difficult one for them perhaps there. They're wounded at the moment as well, as you saw at the bottom.
Yeah, I think they'll be happy to get home. 2 games on the road, are difficult. But getting back home, they play well in their home gym, so they'll have to be happy to get there. But don't count out, their opponents, because their opponents have just come off, a good performance. So it should be another good game in the BBL.
Yeah, it was a great advert for the game, wasn't it, tonight?
It was, and you love to see that, and I think that anyone that has come to games this year has seen a lot of athletic plays, a lot of talent, and we're happy with what we see out on the floor.
Well, don't forget, you can join us next week when we'll be the home of Guildford Heat as they take on Worcester Wolves. Can Paul James men turn it around next time? Watch us here on Sky Sports to find out. Thank you very much to both my guests, Nigel Lloyd, of course, and Rob Paternostro as well. So it's the MK Lions who take the points this evening. Join us again soon for more from the BBL.
The Carling Cup quarter-finals.
Competition's paying the price.
Two teams, both with one intention. A knockout game from the Carling Cup. Coverage sponsored by Bet365. Tomorrow, 7:30, Sky Sports HD2.
Get it poppin'. I'm in Saints Row Trick. All day, ready all night. Let's get it poppin'. I'm in Saints Row Trick with that up. With that.
Out now at Asda.
I'm in Saints Row Trick.
Premier Banking from Barclays sponsors Sky Movies box office.
You stupid little runt. I can crush you anytime I want.
I'm not gonna sleep with you. See about that.
I want you to fire the fat people. They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at.
We gotta hire